Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And even though it's not Friday, I just found out actually literally like 2 days ago that I have Friday off. Chuggs has Friday off. So I said, you know what? We're going to bring Friday happy hour on Thursday. Hopefully everybody is having an amazing day. And we're going to be getting into a lot of Raiders rumors. I saw earlier in the comments section, somebody was like, why the hell are we talking about Ryan Tannehill? I could not agree with you more. But unfortunately, Tannehill's name has been brought up, and part of my job here is to, let's just call it how it is, talk about the rumors, no matter how crazy they are. So we'll get into the latest around that. We're also going to talk about the pro days around Joe Milton, Drake May, somebody like a Michael Penix Jr. I'll also tell you a player that the Raiders have scheduled for a top 30 visit that I have never mentioned before on this show. And then what I figured I would end up doing is, because I like to just keep an updated rankings list of who I believe is the most likely to be the Raiders starting quarterback. And I've done this video so many times this year, last year, the year before that. And I just want us to find a franchise quarterback sooner rather than later. But that's what's going to be coming up for all of y'all here on today's show. On top of that, we got our Sweet 16 March Madness brackets going down. And since this is going to be more than likely the last day that we are live in the month of March, we're also going to be giving away our Raiders helmet today, signed by Jeremy Chuggs and I. And if you don't know what this is, anybody that has sent in a $100 Super Chat or Venmo through the course of the month of March, you're already entered in for a chance to win. And if you didn't already get in, well, luckily for you, I got a deal for you today. Shout out to the 423 people. Shout out to my man, Jeremy Chuggs.
Raiders! What's going on?
What up, what up, what up? Who's going to be the Raiders quarterback in 2024? Now, the way that I want you to predict this is, if you were to legitimately go to Vegas right now, put $100 down and say, hey, this is who I think it would be. Who are you putting your money on to be the Raiders starting quarterback? My answer will be up here in a little bit. What about you? What do you guys think? You're putting money on the table right now. Who's it going to be?
Michael Penix Jr.
Really?
Give me Michael Penix. I think.
So out of all the quarterbacks, you think the one that is the most likely is Michael Penix Jr.?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I think Jayden Daniels, it's going to be tough to get up there. I think they're going to try their hardest, but I think they could also go for somebody like a Michael Penix. Give me Michael Penix.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of Jayden Daniels, and I know that this is the answer that I think a lot of people want. But is it legitimately the best chance of happening?
For me, my heart says Daniels, my mind says Penix. I got Penix on the mind.
I got Penix on my brain. I've always thought that your head looked funny. Now that I see that, yeah.
I have heard Penix head before, so.
Yeah? Wow, interesting.
Oh, also, Rebel, funny that you brought this up. And also, we only have 2 segments, so
Correct.
We're going to get a lot more of the hashtag Raiders, a lot more of the Super Chats.
Yep.
So ask us anything. Ask us what you want to know around the Raiders or around me or Mitch.
Yeah, literally anything.
Rebel, if you follow me on Twitter at Jeremy Chuggs or Mitch at MitchellRins365, I think I retweeted it, Rebel.
Yep.
I know Rebel tagged us in it. He went to the viral Chinese food spot.
Big portions, man. I couldn't believe it.
Load up your Chinese food. It's like a styrofoam plate, and it is packed would be an understatement.
Yeah, it's the face that I would have, the mentality I'd have to eat all that food. There's a part of me.
You have to go to the restroom a couple times.
Yeah. I would like to be able to do a food challenge like that, though. I was literally just going to say, we should try to do that food challenge. I'll tell you this. Imagine, having Rebel order the Chinese food, box it in UPS, and send it here. I don't think that that's going to work.
Even though I used to love some mall Chinese food. The real ones know. Bourbon chicken, and it used to not be, I feel like at the mall it was never orange chicken. It was always Mandarin chicken, which is the same thing in my book. That's like being this is, tomato, I don't even know. I was somewhere and then I lost it. But still.
I know what you're saying, though. When I hear Mandarin chicken, I definitely think of orange chicken. Though, What if, is it the same as tangerine chicken? Now we're just
Dude, but
mind blown.
And they used to always have a metal, at least at my mall, a metal bowl. And there was just a chick out there with a metal bowl full of bourbon chicken toothpicks.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
here you go. Here you go.
a little kid be like, come by with the jacket.
Oh,
Take off
dude.
the jacket. Come by without the jacket. Go buy another shirt. Come by with the new shirt.
Just for a free toothpick.
Oh, yeah.
I get it.
Free toothpick of bourbon chicken.
I get it. Believe me. All right, y'all. Coming up here today, we got a bunch of different types of deals on the Raiders Report. And
wait, speaking of deals,
I'm listening.
we actually have an amazing deal for all you folks at home with our friends over at Game Time.
No way.
Yep.
Are you telling me if I was looking for a last-minute ticket, and let's just say hypothetically speaking,
Are you looking for the lowest price guaranteed as well?
dude, you know me really, really well. If
Oh.
anybody out there is also looking for last-minute tickets at the lowest price guaranteed, I've been told that prices drop even when the event gets a little bit closer, which
Oh,
I think
yeah?
is pretty awesome. I've also been told that if you use promo code ChatSports, you're going to be able to save $20 off if you download the Game Time app today.
Are you serious?
Dude, I'm not even kidding. Like, they got zone deals. They got flash deals. Even if, like, let's say that the event were to cancel, they got event cancellation protection.
Wow. There's no way that you would be able to, like, see what your seat looks like before you buy the ticket, though,
It's
right?
actually funny that you mentioned that. Probably one of my favorite things about Game Time is even though they have the last-minute killer deals, you can actually view your seat on the app. Like, I'm not even kidding you. It's like you're sitting inside of the stadium, and then you're just looking over the horizon exactly where you are.
But, I mean, they probably don't, like, filter it by city and, like, price tag and stuff. Like, you probably can't find events under, say, $50.
Bro,
Could you?
Bro, you're blowing my mind right now. I'm not even kidding you. It is also in every city. Like, if we were to go to Las Vegas, I could go on the Game Time app, type into Las Vegas, and you can find events, like, for under $50. You can also go to comedy events, theaters.
They
have
probably
everything.
don't have the biggest events in your city, though, right?
No way. You're kidding me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm serious. They have everything that you need through the Game Time app.
Wow.
And if you guys want to get started, promo code ChatSports for $20 off.
Should I put the link in the chat?
I'm actually worried if you put the link in the chat, too many people might click on it.
Wow.
But if you want to, it's down there in the comments. It's in the description. Shout out to Game Time for sponsoring the Raiders Report. And also, this might surprise you. The Commanders have signed another player.
Who'd they sign?
Olamide Zaccheaus, the receiver.
Oh, the old Falcons receiver.
Unbelievable. That team signs more than just about anyone.
That's wild.
Unbelievable. All right, let's go to a totally different path here. Who's the worst quarterback out of this group of three? Because unfortunately, we're talking about Ryan Tannehill today, and part of the job here is to talk about the trending topics that are going on around the National Football League.
Patrick B, yeah, that just got announced. They finally got a player in the Hall of Fame, so they will get the Hall of Fame game.
Correct. So Gardner Minshew, Aidan O'Connell, or Ryan Tannehill. Who's the worst quarterback out of these three that you see up on screen?
I wanted to choose violence today, and I wanted to see what the chat had to say, but I couldn't, in good faith, not say Ryan Tannehill. I was going to say AOC and rile the chat up and get everybody upset. But after talking with Mitch and kind of looking at his numbers from last year and kind of looking at his progression and
what you have to pay him.
What convinced me was that, what you would have to pay him compared to AOC.
Now, like,
I would type my RT.
If you told me I could get Ryan Tannehill at the same price as Aidan O'Connell, honestly, I'd probably take Ryan Tannehill. I honestly would. However, though,
it would be close for me.
It would be close. And, there's also the part of it, like, what are you looking for in a quarterback like Aidan, like Ryan? I want somebody that's got some of that continuity, if you will, and somebody that's also a little bit more mobile, which Tannehill is. But then there's also that other aspect, $10 million plus for Tannehill, because, I legitimately think Gardner Minshew is probably the better quarterback now, but if Marcus Mariota's getting $6 million, and if Sam Darnold's getting $8 million, like, Tannehill's going to be somewhere around that area.
Yeah.
Like, is Tannehill $10 million or Aidan O'Connell at his price tag? You know what I mean?
At that point, I'd rather just roll with AOC because cheaper option, you can sign more players with the extra cap space, and at least you get to see what AOC has this year before going into next year's draft and possibly being one of the teams that needs a quarterback.
Yeah. No, hey, I totally agree. All right, you know what, Jeremy? I want everyone to see what our special Super Chat deals of the day are. Today, every 200 likes we get, we're going to do a wheel spin. Now, I don't know exactly what Jeremy has in store for us on the wheel, but I thought it was kind of funny. Every $5 Super Chat that comes in, it's Friday happy hour. It's the end of March, which is already really freaking crazy, man. I've had a lot of fun this month. I was hoping actually for a little bit more eventful of a free agency. I feel like this year's free agency has been a little bit lackluster, but if anybody just wants to lift up a drink to us, I got a 3-day weekend. I don't know about y'all, and I'm ready to get this one going. Alex and I, we're going to drive out to her parents' house tomorrow night, and it's Chuck's favorite place in the world being out there. They got like 9 acres of land, and he just run around like a madman. My biggest concern is that he tries to catch a deer. That's usually my biggest concern with him. But I've already seen a few Super Chats in here today, so cheers to all the real ones out there. If you send in a $20 Super Chat, and this one might be my favorite one, if you send in a $20 Super Chat today and you put in a dad joke, if Jeremy and I laugh, so if I laugh, I take a shot. If Jeremy laughs, takes a shot. If both of us laugh, we got to do a shot at tequila out of our shot ski here, which, if you got a good joke, hey, shoot your shot. $50 Super Chat, you get entered in for our Raiders helmet raffle, so we're only going to do one entry per, so if you send in a 50, you're going to be in for a chance to win. Technically, this is half off. We were doing 100s for the entire month of March. And then if you send in a hundo, we do a beer bong, counts as 3 bangs to our MVP race at the end of March. I'll say this, David Zahn's got a comfortable lead. He's got a very, very comfortable lead in this one. Let's go to the Super Chat coming in here from J-Ro. What up, J-Ro? Cheers to you, brother.
If you could go back to the last draft, would you take Will Levis in round 1 after seeing him play last year? Renz Chuggs 2028?
Maybe Renz Chuggs 2020. I know what he's referencing. You don't want me running for office. Period. Like, I don't think that's a good idea. Chuggs, I would vote for Chuggs. Chuggs is a man of the people. No, I would not want Will Levis. I didn't really like Will Levis a lot last year. I don't think that he showed enough for you to have that much confidence to say, like, this is a quarterback that we want. And I'm not going to take Levis at pick 7. I mean, if Will Levis was in this year's draft, I would have him ranked behind Caleb Williams, Jayden Daniels, Drake May, Michael Penix Jr., and that's probably it. I would have him probably ranked above McCarthy, and I would have him ranked above Bo Nix. But that's just me not being a very big J.J. McCarthy fan. So, no, I'm okay on the Raiders passing on Will Levis. I know there was a few other people that would have liked to have him, but he's an okay quarterback. I don't really see the upside in him. Let's go to Mount Raidermore legend, Patrick B. The nation is definitely feeling the AP swag. This offseason is way more involved with AP than it is the past. It's back to doing it the Raider way.
This right here is my AP swag. Hey, AP swag. Hey.
What is that song?
This right here.
Well, what's the actual title?
Is my
Pretty Boy. That's
swag.
it. I was like, I know the beat. I just couldn't think of the actual song.
Boy
Well, I'm
swag.
with you, Patrick, though, and I think a lot of people are in agreement with this, and I think it's one of the things that, you know, the Raiders, I don't want to say have to get right this offseason, but you kind of need to be able to build that trust again with your fan base. I mean, the nation is as dedicated and as loyal of a fan base as you're going to find, but over those last 2 years with Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler, the way everything went, plus it was the hire that not many people wanted because of the old Patriot way, you have to kind of build that trust back here a little bit, and I think that's also one of the reasons why Mark Davis decided to go out and hire Antonio Pierce. Let's go to my man DJ Crazy.
Crazy little Yoshi.
Lil Yoshi, do you think that Tom Brady can have an impact at the draft with trading with the Patriots for 3 overall? No, I don't. Like, he's an owner. I actually don't really think he's going to be all that involved in any of the actual, like, football things that happen. I think he's more of just going to be part of the business side of it.
That would be wild if he did. Could you imagine him making the call, be like, yo, Robert, help us out. I got you all these Super Bowls. Get the Raiders up to 3. We'll give you a fair deal. Make it happen, Robert.
I will say, if you are a team that wants to call the New England Patriots for that pick, if I am the Raiders, I wouldn't mind having Tom Brady in the room. Like, a lot of people don't want to have Brady a part of the Raiders organization, and at this point, why would you not want to have the greatest quarterback of all time just like a part of your organization? I mean, there's going to be a time, and I don't know when it's going to be, that having Brady as an owner is going to pay dividends. The analogy that I've given before, because everyone's like, oh, is it like Michael Jordan with the Hornets? No, I almost look at it more as like Magic Johnson with the Dodgers, is the way that I'm hoping that this thing with the Raiders turns into.
Venom Sosa?
What's up? My man, Rebel. Mitch, no meat tomorrow per Alex request. Good Friday.
Did Alex say no meat tomorrow?
I hope not, because I'm probably going to eat meat tomorrow. Yeah, I don't.
You've been dieting all week. You've been looking forward to this weekend for eating.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I've been telling Jeremy I've been trying to slim up a little bit, so I've been on this new diet where I only drink protein shakes while I'm at work, and that's kind of why I've been trying to stay away from the drinking Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I ate today. Jeremy can confirm, so I'm ready to get down and have a good time tonight. But I'm gonna eat a lot of good food this weekend. Alex's mom is one of the best cooks I've ever had, and it kind of reminds me, like, growing up, my grandmother, she's Italian, and she would make all this, like, just a good home cooking Italian food. Alex's mom, it does that with Mexican food. It's, like, authentic, and, I mean, this might surprise y'all. I don't get as many home-cooked meals as I used to. I try to cook myself, but it's something about, when mom cooks that home-cooked meal, man, it simply hits different, and I am going to pig out the entire weekend. I cannot freaking wait. What up, Brandon Morgan? Remember, guys, use hashtag Raiders here to get those questions up on screen. If the Cards trade Murray to the Vikings, how would that change our chance for trading up / getting Daniels? I think you're referring to the insane trade that Mike, piece of shit Tannenbaum, put together, who has not done anything successful ever. It's not going to happen, first off the top. Let's say, though, that it does. Kyler Murray ends up going to the Minnesota Vikings. I don't really know if it does change all that much. Like, to me, Minnesota has their eyes on McCarthy or Drake May. Like, that's the route that they're going to end up going. And Kevin O'Connell, to me, doesn't really seem like a fit with Kyler Murray and the type of offense that they want to run. So I know what Tannenbaum did. I don't think it's likely. And I was actually thinking about this the other day. What do you think's more likely? This trade happening, or the Chargers trading away Justin Herbert so they can draft J.J. McCarthy?
Oh.
Like, what do you think's legitimately more likely? Because I actually think that scenario that I just said is more likely than this.
I think the Cardinals are more likely to I think the Cardinals are more likely to stay at 4 and draft Marvin Harrison Jr. than they are and keep Kyler Murray than they are to trade away Kyler Murray. I think they would rather do that. I think they're eventually going to trade out of the pick because they're trying to somewhat rebuild. I mean, Kyler Murray's still young, and they put a lot of faith in Kyler Murray. They re-signed him to an extension. I mean, how old is Kyler Murray? Let's see.
If I had to guess, 26, 27?
He's 26 years old, so
Yep.
He's still young. I mean, when you think about it, some of these guys are really young still. Some of these quarterbacks, like Lamar Jackson, is still young. Kyler Murray, he's 26. Michael Penix, coming out of the draft, is 24. So some of these quarterbacks are still young, and I think the Cardinals are going to want to see what they have in Murray at least for a little bit longer. Now, going to the Justin Herbert trade, that is some rumors that I have been hearing, but I don't know the legitimacy.
I mean, Harbaugh literally said that J.J. McCarthy had the best pro day he's ever seen.
Which I almost think
if he were to legitimately think that it's the best pro day he's ever seen and that he would be the quarterback that he would take #1 overall.
I wonder if he's being the bar wingman, though,
I know
now.
he is.
Like, he's going over to the pretty girls like, hey, my friend thinks you're really cute. You know, he's getting his doctorate. Really good guy.
It's a foot and a half. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, he's really hyping it up.
I think it's more of that. And also, I think it helps the Chargers because I think the Chargers are hoping that the Cardinals trade out of that pick because They just got rid of Keenan Allen.
Yep.
They just got rid of Mike Williams.
Sure.
How amazing would it be for them if Marvin Harrison Jr. fell to 5?
Yeah.
If 4 quarterbacks went in the top 4 picks, and they're there with the best, they can get the best player at any position because it's been all quarterbacks.
Yep.
They could go Marvin Harrison Jr. They could go.
I mean, that's the thing. Like,
I mean, they could even trade back with a team that wants to get Marvin Harrison Jr.
You know, and I see a comment down there from AJ. It said, Jayden is not getting past the Commanders. Let's put it to rest now. But, like, I don't even think that that's fair to say. So, like, going here to John's question, narc, my word. All right, fair enough. If we get Jayden Daniels, somehow Brandon Ayuk will force his way to Vegas. Like,
John, I knew you were a cop.
I still think that there is a shot that the Raiders get Jayden Daniels. I mean, when you look at the most recent, and I mean most recent reports from Tom Pelissero, his most recent report around the Commanders is that they are looking at potentially taking J.J. McCarthy at number 2.
And I think they're more likely to take Drake May, J.J. McCarthy than they are Jayden Daniels.
And I completely agree with that. I mean, there's also that other rumor that Adam Peters doesn't like Jayden, and Jayden doesn't like Adam Peters. I've still yet to see that one personally being squashed. The whole Brandon Ayuk will force his way to Vegas thing, I don't know if he will, because if you're Las Vegas, do you do the trade? Like, most recently, and I kind of talked about it today on my social media here a little bit, because I do find it weird that 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel has been blocking people on social media just for them saying, like, Brandon's a good receiver, like little as stuff like that. So I think it's kind of an issue right now. But if you're the Raiders and you want to make a trade with Brandon Ayuk, I mean, it's going to cost you
a first.
They're looking for a first. I don't think the Raiders give up pick 13. But what if I told you it legitimately cost you pick 44 for Brandon Ayuk, and then you're going to have to pay him $27 million this year?
What if it cost you a 4th this year and your first next year?
You're not giving up a first-round pick for Brandon Ayuk. For the Raiders, that is.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get rid of him.
Now, maybe in this scenario, I would entertain the idea in this scenario just because, well, you wouldn't even be able to, because you wouldn't have a first-round pick if you go up and get Jayden.
Yeah, that's true. And I've seen a couple people in the chat say this, Mitch. Javier Naranjo, do you think Jayden Daniels pulls an Elway Manning? I saw that. Oh, I was going to go to this one, but what do you say on this?
No, I don't. In today's day and age with social media, it's not going to happen, and Jayden has already kind of shut it down. I saw this right before I was getting ready to do the show from Andrew B.
Yeah, this is the one I was talking about.
Brian Kelly let it slip and said Jayden Daniels is going to make plays for Washington. I think it's just like the whole Harbaugh thing. Like, why would you not hype up your guy?
Well, and for college coaches,
it makes them look better.
The higher your players get drafted, the more you can tell recruits, hey, we had the 2nd pick in the draft this past year. We had this many top 10 picks. We had this many first-round picks. I mean, the first thing you see when you walk into a lot of these football facilities is an NFL wall of all the guys who got drafted.
Yeah,
or like when you go into the Arkansas facilities, they have every guy who got drafted, where they got drafted, and it makes the team look a lot better.
Yeah, I heard it as well. The fact is, I'll tell you one person who has no idea what's going to happen. It's Brian Kelly. Like, he doesn't know what the Commanders are going to do. What up, J-Ro? Send 3 first rounds and Davante for Justin Herbert. Ooh, boy. The only reason why I would say no to this is because it's the Chargers. I don't want to send 3 first-round picks and Davante Adams to the Los Angeles Chargers for Justin Herbert. What I would rather you do is send 3 first rounds and Davante Adams to any other team in the NFL, and you pick your quarterback. Like, if that's what I would rather do, because that means you got to pay Herbert now $50 million plus. If you're willing to send 3 first rounders, and I get it, Herbert's a good quarterback, probably a top 6 in the NFL, but like, I want my GM and I want my head coach to be confident enough that if they're going to send 3 first round picks and a guy like Davante Adams, you better go get your own guy. Like, you better go up to number 2. And I get Telesco drafted Herbert, but I'm not giving all of that to my division rival.
Yeah,
that's way too much.
This one from Will. Did you hear about the guy who dipped his testicles in glitter? Pretty nuts.
On a scale of 1 to 10, that's a good dad joke. There was a part of this, though, I was like, I don't even know what he's going for. And then I realized it was a 20. I'll take a drink to it, Will. Not good enough for a shot, but you know what? I appreciate the try. Like, if our show today is just a bunch of dad jokes like this, I'm okay with that. I'm more than okay with it.
Steve, why did the football sigh? Because it was deflated.
That's close. That one was close. That one was good, too. I kind of like the glitter one more. I'm not going to lie to you, Steve. I'm not going to lie. I mean, if you guys want me to do some shots today at tequila, it's going to have to be better than that.
I will say we are 5 likes away from spinning the wheel.
I'm nervous about your wheel. Daniel Jimenez laughed. So, Daniel, you owe me a shot. If you laugh to any dad joke that comes in on today's show, you're taking a shot.
Or else.
Or else. We're going to come find you. And
nope,
you don't
won't.
Want, all right.
Sarah Otto will find you.
Yeah, that's something that you don't want. Who's going to be like 200?
It'll be Sarah and Brandon Jasper.
Who's going to be like 200? Let me know. All right, Jeremy, we did just get there, so spin the wheel.
Oh, I have another joke for you.
All right, I'm not going to look at the screen. That way I don't see them.
Which team is full of shoplifters? The Steelers.
That's dumb. I'll take a shot to that. That was dumb, but that was good.
Wait. Say that again.
My favorite dad joke from my father is, what is a one-legged bartender's main job? She's in charge of the hops. Do you get it?
Yeah. Do you get it?
You do like Krabby Patties, Squidward.
Touche.
All right, here we go.
Touche. All right, let's spin that wheel. We got 800 people here in the chat. If you haven't already, click that like button. What do we got here? Oh, boy. Come on! Come on! Let's go! That's a good start. That's a hell of a start. All right.
All right, I'll leave this one up for you really quick. I rarely see pilots walking around under the terminal because they usually in disguise.
It's good. Not a shot, though. Not a shot. There you go. I got a beer bong for Chuggs.
Oh.
John, I'll tell you what, though. Are you guys Googling these, or are these just like that you have just like stored in the hip? Because John looks like a guy that just walks around giving dad jokes.
Gary, now this one's
if
not...
you have a bow tie on, you love a good
Gary,
dad
this
joke.
one's not eligible for a shot because that's for $20, but we'll still read it, obviously.
Okay.
Why don't chickens wear underwear? Because they're peckers on their head.
I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. That one's a pretty good one. I might steal that one, Gary. And when I say might, I mean probably will.
Ooh. All right. One more question before we get going on today's episode.
I like it.
Name a QB the Raiders could draft.
Name a quarterback.
Mitch is going to give you basically the order of which he thinks these guys are likely to get drafted by the Raiders. And where does Aidan O'Connell / Gardner Minshew fit into that? He's going to break down 10 guys who are most likely to be the Raiders starting quarterback in week 1.
Dude.
Number 1 might surprise you.
Number 1's going to surprise some people.
Every time I say that, I always feel like one of those internet ads where it's like you're reading something and at the very bottom it's like, top 5 celebrities who cheated on their wives. Number 1 might surprise you. And it's like trying to get you to click.
Have you seen this new trend on Instagram? And I've got probably like, maybe you're like, it's not a new trend at all. But it's like an insane video, right? Like a video like when you watch it, you're like, what the hell did I just watch? So you go to the comments. And the top comment that has all the likes is just like a paragraph. And then it says ... read more. And you click on it. But it's like the person just types read more. So nothing's actually there.
Yes, I've seen that
Pisses
before.
me off every time. It just angers me. No, I don't know. That's what that reminded me of. Yeah, number 1 will surprise you. You just never know. You never know what's going to happen, man.
Let's see. Raiders Smoke, a.k.a. Papaya Man.
What's up, my brother?
What's up, fellas? Penix just killed his pro day, 4.5 40 time. All these rumors of us trading for JD5 got me pumped. How do you find Will Smith in the snow? You look for his fresh pin.
Prince? What did you say? I don't even know what you said. You look for his fresh prince. That's a good joke.
I'll take a shot for that.
Yeah, you probably should. Here you go. You want Fireball or tequila? The Bleeze?
I'd much rather have Fireball.
That's you're probably not wrong there. That's a good one. I would say we are going to talk about Michael Penix Jr. a little bit today.
Good joke. I liked it.
We are going to talk about it today. We'll kind of get into everything that happened around him because he impressed a lot of people today. I'm telling y'all right now, Penix has really, really impressed himself today.
Allie, do you have any mom jokes? I don't know. There's dad jokes. Do you have a mom joke?
Do your homework. I got a mom joke for you. What is it? Do your homework. I'm not going to lie. I would laugh to that. I mean, it's true, though. There's dad jokes. Why is there not mom jokes?
Moms can be funny, too, Allie. I didn't say you were.
All right.
You know mothers.
I'm not a dad.
Yeah, I still tell the joke.
Imagine if there was a law, like one of those like old laws. It's like you must be a dad to tell a dad joke. Do you know an old law?
What's a mom joke? Do your homework.
Do you have like an old like rule, like an old law? Like it's illegal in Pennsylvania to sweep dirt underneath a rug. That's an old law that they just technically never banned, but it's still a law. You can go to jail for sweeping dirt under your rug in Pennsylvania. You guys know any old laws?
As you should.
Really? I don't know about that. Oh, I actually forgot about this. We got our Sweet 16 for March Madness coming up here on the Raiders Report. We got a lot of matchups. We got a lot of games. We're going to do how many races today in total? 8? 8 races in total. So we're going to do 2 races here. Then we're going to get into our segment, which is going to be around some Raiders rumors that have happened today around Tannehill. We're going to talk Milton, Michael Penix Jr., Drake May, a player that they are.
I can't lie. I almost forgot too, and then I was looking at.
I literally did. I looked
at the sheet and I was like, oh.
Yep, I did actually literally forget. So we're gonna do these 2 races, and then we're gonna get into our very first segment. We're gonna do 2 more races, get into our next segment, and then actually we're gonna go 4 races. Then we have a raffle here for the helmet, and I'd like to be able to just keep this thing going with some questions and keep the party going.
I literally forgot we were doing it.
Literally. So the first race coming up here on the Raiders Report, we got David Zahn, the 1 seed, up against Joshua Milton. Now, I am going to do another 50-50 raffle race for the people that aren't in March Madness today. So if you want a chance to get in, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Ren 365. We will do a race at the very, very end of today's show. For those of you that are like, what the hell am I looking at, Mitch? We had 64 watchers on the Raiders Report enter our March Madness bracket. The winner of this tournament is going to go home with $1,600. Winner of all the matchups that you see today, there's 8 of them, go to the Elite 8. So we got the 1 seed David Zahn up against Joshua Milton. And then Jason E.B. going up against Amy. I can't wait. I can't wait, man.
Who you got? Type DZ for Zahn. Type JM for Joshua Milton.
Bro.
1 versus 5 winner going to the Elite 8. 1 step closer to $1,600. Mitch, count us down, please.
3, 2, 1. Let's ride.
And they're off.
David Zahn out to an early lead, though I feel like a Minion versus the Flash. I'm going to put my money on the Flash.
Queen Sarah Otto has a mom joke for you. What do you call the mom who can't draw? Tracy.
I was hoping Sarah. David, does he have enough? Or
Joshua
No!
Milton!
I think it is Zahn!
David Zahn!
Survive and advance to the
Wow.
Elite Eight.
Zahn.
I'll tell you what, Zahn's been running some good races, man.
I mean, you don't get the 1 seed for nothing.
Very
Yeah.
true.
He had a great regular season, had a great conference tournament coming into the big dance. David Zahn is one of those guys who you think maybe will stumble along the way, but he's just been trucking along every single
Honestly,
game.
he's been UConn in the actual March Madness tournament.
100%.
He's been putting in some really, really good effort, man.
David Zahn to the Elite Eight.
Joshua Melton, don't hang your head. Making it to the Sweet 16 is a great honor.
That's a big deal.
It's a great, great honor, which means the next race we got coming up here in the Las Vegas region, Jason E.B. up against Amy.
Who you got in this matchup?
I mean, that's
Amy's been turning some heads this tournament.
Amy's had a few big upsets.
She's had a couple. She's not even only a few upsets, a couple hammerings. She's beaten these other teams by quite a big margin.
I mean, her last race that she had was a very commanding win. Though, again, you can't really sleep on Jason E.B. either. I mean, he hasn't, I don't think, blown people out.
There's
but
a reason why he's the 6th seed.
Yeah, a very experienced racer. Very, very experienced racer. We'll see, though. I mean, I'm intrigued. David, you're in the chat right now. Who are you hoping to go up against? Amy or Jason E.B., winner of this race, goes up against David Zahn in the Elite Eight.
You ready?
3, 2, 1. Let's go here. And out to the early jump is EB just by a nose.
Oh, Amy going back a little bit. Amy's going back.
I'm worried she's trying to save up.
She hasn't been losing a lot in this tournament. She's been winning all of her matchups from start to beginning. Will she be able to make the comeback?
Somebody's gonna have to turn it on here.
Amy.
This is gonna be close.
Slight lead. Amy hits the nose.
Oh, what a great race for Amy.
Amy.
What a win.
Wow.
I mean, I think she played it perfectly. That looked like one of those racers that was never nervous, was never sweating. Jason E.B. got out to that lead and slowed down.
A little bit of playing possum at the beginning.
You're right.
You're almost like, okay, you don't have to be too worried. You don't have to be too worried. And I turn it on. And then I turn it on.
And I mean, right now, she's just skipping Jason E.B.'s. I mean, he's gassed.
Wow.
I'll tell you what. That's a big win there. So that means David Zahn up against Amy in the Elite Eight.
Wow. Hold on. Let me see if I can get that.
Winner then, that means winner of the Zahn-Amy race wins Las Vegas.
Yes.
Dude, iconic. What a hell of a race. What a hell of a race. Mr. David Zahn, how are you? Mr. Zahn. Everybody give a huge shout out to Mount Raidermore legend David Zahn. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, we are going to get into the latest news and rumors
Where is it?
around the silver and black. I don't know.
Here we go.
All right, Will Duncan's got one. I'm going to read this one for you, okay? What did the three-legged dog say when he walked into the saloon?
What?
I'm looking for the man who shot my paw. You get it?
I do.
That's like that's a little bit of twang to it, right? You
A little bit.
Look for the man who shot my paw. I'm not gonna lie. I did kind of laugh to it in the beginning when I was like reading it. That's why I can't do it. That's why I don't watch comedy like on Netflix with the subtitles on. I feel like my eyes just jump right to the joke. Will, that was a good one. I laughed at it.
Good joke. We liked it.
Very good. Very, very good. So Zahn advances and Amy advances.
Wow. I mean,
yes, I am, Mr. Zahn. You're probably going to be the MVP for the month of March. If somebody takes you down, then I'm going to be taken down myself. If somebody beats Zahn today in our MVP race for the month of March, I'm not walking out of here. So I decided to wear the David Zahn jersey. Had to do it.
Oh, and let me actually throw Will's super chat up there so we can have it on screen.
Yep. What did the three-legged dog say when he walked into the saloon? I'm looking for my man who shot my paw.
shot my paw.
You shot my paw.
All right. First, are the Raiders interested in Ryan Tannehill?
Holy crap, I hope not. I really, really hope not. I said something on social media yesterday, and I'll kind of hit this one again. But coming up here, we're going to talk about some quarterbacks in the draft. We are going to talk about Ryan Tannehill. And then the next segment that we got coming up here on today's live show, I'm going to be ranking which quarterbacks I believe are the most likely to start for the Las Vegas Raiders this upcoming season. You ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
Y'all ready? After this segment, we got a few more duck races for the Sweet 16. Appreciate all of y'all tuning in to the Raiders Report. And if we could, we're about 100 likes away from 400. I want another wheel spin by the time I'm done doing this segment. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, are the Las Vegas Raiders interested in Ryan Tannehill? How did the Joe Milton meeting go with the Silver and Black? And what's the latest going on here around Michael Penix Jr. and Drake Maye? And shout out to David Zahn. We'll get wild here in just a minute on our live for all you that are watching. But on today's show, I really want to take a deep dive in a lot of these rumors that are circulating around the Silver and Black, around the Las Vegas Raiders, because there's going to continue to be a lot of conversation around the quarterback. And I saw a rumor late last night, and I was like, man, I get that part of my job here is to be able to discuss truth, not truth. People are going to put out a lot of stories. My job as a content creator is to give you my honest opinion on what I think certain situations are. I've been right before. I have been wrong before. But I am super, super confident in this one right here around the Raiders being interested in signing Ryan Tannehill. This one comes from Bleacher Report and Sports Illustrated, and I wanted to make this show to tell all of you it's not going to happen. Zero just win, babies. Tuck rule, tuck that. I said it on social media. The Easter Bunny has a better chance of signing a contract with the Raiders, which, funny enough, a lot of people are like, is that Jimmy Garoppolo on the Bunny Ranch? It's not. But you know what? Ryan Tannehill ain't going to be a Raider. And I know I saw the report, and the report was Tannehill could be an option for the Raiders. It was an article released by Bleacher Report. Sports Illustrated then made an article around it. And the entire reason why I'm sitting up here saying it's not going to happen is because, one, the Raiders signed Gardner Minshew this offseason to a 2-year, $25 million deal and gave him $15 million on top of that. The other reason is, like, I feel like a lot of people think that I don't like Aidan O'Connell, but why would you sign another veteran quarterback before the NFL draft when you have Aidan O'Connell and Gardner Minshew? If anything that I learned from this entire article is, like, Bleacher Report just proved to me that they have absolutely positively no knowledge on the situation, and anybody that thinks that Ryan Tannehill is a legitimate shot for the Raiders before the draft, you're a fool. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. You're an absolute fool for thinking that Ryan Tannehill is an actual chance to be the Raiders quarterback. And one of the things that I love to do on the show, obviously, is interact with the nation. I love being able to hang out with all of y'all on a weekly basis. But, like, when you see some type of bullshit, you know what I mean? Like, when you see something like Raiders could potentially sign Ryan Tannehill, am I the only one that I actually get angry about it? I'm like, that's just such a ridiculous thing to say. How could you ever actually be like, that's a good idea, I'm going to make a video on it, or I'm going to make an article on it? No, I got to make my video here now saying that the Raiders aren't going to go out and sign Ryan Tannehill because I had over 100 people last night say, Mitch, did you see the report here? Yes, I did see it. It's not going to happen. So if this angered you, I feel it. And I think that you could see that it angered me too. Hit that subscribe button. The reason why that it ticked me off so much is because I don't even understand in the world that Ryan Tannehill makes your team a better football team. Like, if you would have told me, hey, Mitch, the Raiders are going to sign Ryan Tannehill before they sign Gardner Minshew, even then I would have been like, honestly, I don't really see it. Then again, I never thought that the Silver and Black would sign Gardner Minshew. But the only way, and I mean the only way the Raiders would even entertain this idea is if they came out of the 2024 NFL Draft with actually nobody. And even in that world, I still don't think they signed Tannehill, who was really bad last season. I mean, he was. Sure, the Titans didn't have a lot of passing options. Derrick Henry was a little bit banged up. But, like, even in 2022, hasn't been all that good. 2021 wasn't all that good. So you're telling me you're going to sign a quarterback when you already signed Gardner Minshew, when you already have Aidan O'Connell, when everybody under the sun knows that you're going to target a quarterback in the draft, probably by the name of Jayden Daniels, and you're going to sit up here and tell me that the Raiders are interested in Ryan Tannehill? Bleacher Report, Sports Illustrated, I'm sorry, but y'all got to do better. Man, that's embarrassing. So out of the 3 quarterbacks that you see right here, who's the worst quarterback of the bunch? If you think Gardner's the worst one, give me a GM. If you think it's Aidan, I want to see some AOCs. If you think it's Ryan Tannehill, type RT down below. This is the pinned comment on today's show. After this YouTube ad break, I am going to give you my answer of who I think is the worst quarterback on this list. Part of the equation is I will say Gardner Minshew is the best quarterback on that list. I'm confident in that ability. But also, though, when you tie in money, because you're signing a quarterback like Ryan Tannehill to money, just like you signed a quarterback like Gardner Minshew for money. If we're going to talk about how good a QB is based on overall quarterback value, okay? Overall quarterback value, I actually think Aidan might be the best bang for your buck out of that list. Then it's Gardner Minshew, and if a guy like, I don't know, Marcus Mariota's making $6 million, Sam Darnold's making $8 million, if Gardner Minshew, even him, right, 2 years, $25 million, if you're Ryan Tannehill, you're going to sit up there and go, I want $10 million a year. If the Las Vegas Raiders were to give Ryan Tannehill $10 million a year on top of giving Gardner Minshew the deal that they did, I would sit up here and say, honestly, you probably got to fire Antonio Pierce. You probably got to fire Tom Telesco because they clearly have no idea what the hell they're doing. Coming up next here on the show, we're going to get into the latest around Joe Milton. We're going to talk a little bit about some other quarterbacks on top of that actually have a chance of being a member of this team. But I got to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Game Time. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Buying tickets to your favorite events, it shouldn't be stressful. Snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seats, and their best price guaranteed, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Some of the things that I love about Game Time are those last-minute ticket deals. I love that you can see the views from all your seats. I also love the all-in price feature. I love that if I want to be able to travel somewhere, I can look up that city. Like, I can remember last year, I wish I would have done it. My dad and I, we were planning on going to Denver, and I was, like, reaching out to people like, hey, what are some fun things to do in Denver? I went on the Game Time app, and I was looking up some events to do. Jeremy and I, we went to a Drake concert. Jeremy earlier went to an Adele concert. I was just the other day looking up tickets to go to a Dallas Stars game, and what I love is, like, I don't know if I can commit to it now, but guess what? Saturday night, I'm sitting at home, and if I'm like, I don't got anything to do, events under $50 they have, like, Game Time is a game changer. And I want y'all to go check it out because I love going to events, not so much just because, like, are the Dallas Mavericks going to win? Are the Raiders going to win? Are the Golden Knights going to win? Like, those memories, I think, last forever. I mean, I always tell people, I can legitimately still remember the very first game my dad and I ever went to where Sammy Sosa hit a home run. The Mets, they did win 2-1. But, like, that's a memory that I legitimately think I will have for the rest of my life. You can't put a price tag on something like that. So if you want to go get a cheap ticket from Game Time on their last-minute ticket deals, like, you want to take your son, your daughter, your wife, you're looking for a fun thing to go out and do, like, there was I'm going to say 2 months ago, I took Alex to a Dallas Mavericks game. I got the tickets for, it was like $30 a pop. So all in all, let's say we spent $100 for that entire day, which I get it. But you spent $100 for the entire day, and we had a great date night. Like, in today's day and age, $100 for about 5 hours, 4 hours of entertainment, that stuff's unheard of. That's why I love Game Time. Go check it out. All right, let's go to the next rumor here on the show. The Las Vegas Raiders are interested in Tennessee quarterback Joe Milton. This one, I'm going to give 2 just win babies, and I am going to say that people are talking, and people should be talking about Joe Milton. When you look at him, everybody should say this guy's got a gigantic arm, and he can throw a football 80 yards. And he can, man. He's like Uncle Rico throwing the ball over those mountains. He's a good athlete. Now, I am a little bit concerned in his ability to actually throw the football like on an NFL basis, especially with accuracy, throwing people open. But, like, you have to admit that the Raiders are interested in him, right? I mean, the Raiders and the Patriots, they met with Milton before his pro day on Thursday. Milton has another pro visit with the Cleveland Browns on Tuesday next week. Remember, holiday weekend. And Antonio Pierce has said that he wants a quarterback that can run, can move, can beat you with his legs. I don't think that Milton is a franchise quarterback. I don't think that this is like your saving grace is putting a Band-Aid on it. But, like, if I wanted to take a chance on a guy, right? If I wanted to take a chance on a guy that I can get in the 6th round, 7th round, maybe AP wants to do that because they're totally different than Gardner, totally different than Aidan O'Connell. I mean, this is per Vincent Bonsignore on March 28th. AP shed some light on what he's looking for in his next quarterback, a damn runner. Like, Milton's not the runner that I think some people think he is. Like, I would say he's a much less version. He's like your Dollar General version of a Cam Newton style of quarterback, but he can still use his legs, and he's going to beat Aidan O'Connell in a foot race, and he's going to beat Gardner Minshew in a foot race. I can guarantee you that. Antonio Pierce also said this about, Jayden Daniels on one of the things that he likes about him and how much he talks about how much he loves that he can run. Guess what? A lot of the qualities that you look for in a quarterback like Jayden, if you're trying to develop a guy, don't get me wrong, Joe Milton is not even close to the passer that Jayden is. But if you want to be able to find somebody that you can put in a power run system, maybe a little bit of RPO in there and really rely on an Alexander Madison, a Zamir White to be able to get the rock running, like Milton could be a guy. He could also be an extra goal line back. I don't know what the situation is. Now, I am not afraid to sit up here and say that I'm not a Milton believer, and there's going to be some people out there that are going to disagree with me. That's totally fine, and the tape is going to show. I will admit, like, for Milton, he might be able to be a good fit on some other NFL teams out there. The other reason why I don't really want the Raiders to draft Milton is because he's a gigantic project to me. And no disrespect to Luke Getsy, no disrespect to Rich Scangarillo. Those are two hires that I did not like. In fact, out of all the hires that the Raiders have made this offseason, Rich Scangarillo and Luke Getsy were probably my least two favorite hires. So those are going to be the two people probably working the closest with Milton. If Milton, let's say, had all his athletic ability and he was a defensive player and he was able to work with Antonio Pierce, Patrick Graham, a Rob Leonard, and a lot of our defensive coaches that, let's face it, have proved themselves as being good teachers, being good coaches, I would say, all right, I can kind of wrap my mind around it. Because I don't believe in the Raiders' offensive coordinator, because I don't believe in the Raiders' quarterback coach, it's kind of hard to believe on a quarterback that I think is a project player in Joe Milton. So let me know down below. Should the Raiders draft Joe Milton? Give me a yes. Give me a no. Let me know what y'all are thinking. I've kind of already answered this one. Like, you want to take a flyer on Milton in the 7th round? I'm never going to nitpick a 7th round pick. Take high upside late there in the draft. But where I think he's going to end up going, because I think a lot of these other quarterbacks are going to go higher, I think Milton's going to end up going in the 5th round, in the 4th round. And that price tag for me personally is just a little bit too high to take a quarterback that his ceiling, running ceiling, is there. I don't see how he's possibly going to turn into a legit NFL quarterback. And it sucks to say it, but it is just my God-honest opinion. It's my God-honest truth. Let me know down below what y'all are thinking. Coming up next here on the show, let's get into, some of the latest here around Michael Penix Jr. We're going to also talk a little bit about Drake Maye and kind of just get into more of some updates around some quarterbacks that had some pro days today. If you didn't pay attention to social media on Thursday, Michael Penix Jr. balled the F out at his pro day. I mean, I knew he was athletic, and Vegas has been pretty good about over-under times with quarterbacks. They projected him to be somewhere around like a 4.6.5. Dude ran a 4.53. Now, there was a report that came out that he ran a 4.46. That was an unofficial time. I would say you're looking at 4.53 to the 4.58 range is what he ended up running. He also had a 36.5-inch vertical jump, which for a QB is extremely impressive. So I know that he doesn't really get brought up as being a quarterback that can run. He is athletic. He can use his legs. He would be a better runner than Aidan. He'd be a better runner than Gardner Minshew. And this young man right here really, really helped his draft stock today. And I've been saying before, like, if I was the Raiders, could you potentially trade back up into the 1st round? I don't know if it's going to happen anymore for Michael Penix Jr. For Drake Maye, also based off of some of the conversations that I've seen on social media, Drake Maye is a hell of a quarterback and another prospect that's got extreme upside. Based off of a conversation I had today, though, I don't know if I'm going to put Maye on the Raiders draft board. Now, obviously, if he falls down really, really far, but I would say the Raiders have their eyes on 2, maybe 3 quarterbacks as it stands right now. Another player that's going to be having a top 30 visit with the Silver and Black is Jalen Allen from Humboldt, Texas, at 6'3", 240 pounds. Played for the Memphis Tigers last season. 41 tackles, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. That's kind of the latest going on around the Raiders and everything that happened on Thursday. Now, I know when some of y'all watch this video, it's not going to be Thursday. And Jeremy and I, we had to switch up our schedule a little bit because, like I said before, I literally found out Tuesday night, or it might have been Wednesday, that I have off on Friday, so we're not going to be here. But we're still trying to get you guys a bunch of content. If anything does happen over Easter weekend, I'm going to be making a video from Alex's, my fiance's, parents' house. Chuck will be there. It'll be a little bit of a different look. The only way Jeremy and I are coming into the studio is if it's like monumental breaking news, like Jayden Daniels, like the Raiders trade up for Jayden Daniels and type of shit like that. If not, I'm like 2 hours away from the studio, so I'll just make a video at home. So if you want anything, news, updates, keep me up to date, hit that subscribe button so that way you don't miss a thing. Can you imagine?
I mean, I think the move there would be I would come to the studio and you just call in.
You think?
I think so. I mean, 2
Bro.
hours away.
I know. Yeah, I don't know what I would do. It'd be brutal. Though I also know, like, Alex's family, they'd be okay with it for, like, an hour. Alex's dad, he's an awesome dude, but he's, again, very old school. If I was banging and doing shit like that, he would be like, what on earth is going on?
That's when you go out in the car.
Yeah, true. Go out in the car,
Roll the window down just a little bit. Turn the AC on.
do the show from out there. Take a 6-pack out there. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Also,
We did have something happen at the very beginning of the show.
I saw it come in. I was like, this is impeccable timing. David Zahn
Bang!
Zahn, I was just talking about you yesterday. I had a phone call with.
You know the rules.
I know the rules. I'll go get a boot. Or you can fill it up. You got to give me the Zahn shake. I had a conversation with a company that sponsors us yesterday, Zahn, and it was kind of crazy. They were like, yeah, I was watching the show the other day, and I was like, oh, boy, what show was it? And it was last Friday, or was it last Friday or the Friday before that, when you and Abjin tried to put me in a hole, and they were like, dude, this guy, his name was like, he like paused for a little bit, and he's like, he went insane on a show. And I was like, was it David Zahn? And, dude, there was like, yes! And, like, you heard, like, an echo in the background of, I guess, all of their employees, if you will. And they were like, that guy is an insane human being. So, Zahn, it was a really good laugh. It was fun to be able to talk about it with somebody, who sponsors the show. Zahn's Mount Raider more for a reason. And probably, I mean, him and Raider Ron are on a whole nother level, man. They will always have a special, special place in my heart, and I am working on a deal right now with a company. Dude, that's a good David Zahn head right there. I'm working on a deal right now with a company to be able to get, some people for Mount Raider more, some people that watch the show a lot, out to some events with Jeremy Chuggs and I, and I'm hoping it goes through. You guys are gonna love it. It's gonna be a hell of a time. So Zahn, I love you. Everybody right now, spam David Zahn down below for a shout out, and because Zahn put a bang in. He's just adding to the bang list. Jeremy, whoever spams Zahn the most, we're going to give them a free entry and for a chance to get this helmet. You know what? Every time somebody bangs today, every time somebody sends in a hundo, we're going to put in somebody for the helmet raffle. We're going to put in somebody for the helmet raffle.
Okay. Little Christmas in March.
Little Christmas in March. I should also mention we are doing a duck race. Philip Bogert is in. And then this is a new one. Charles Yan, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, is in.
All right. Oh, they are spamming it.
Yeah?
It is being spammed.
All right. You're going to pick whoever spams it the most for the time
All right.
I do this boot, which I have not done a boot in a minute.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. some lukewarm beer. Nothing goes down smoother, I'll tell you that, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing goes down smooth. All right, here we go. Coming up. And you know what? I think I have a person who did it.
Uh-oh.
And it's somebody who you know who's been very involved actually the past couple months.
I got a burp. Holy crap.
Real Cowboy 307.
Oh, the real cowboy.
Yes, sir. Real _Cowboy _307.
You in. You in. To the real cowboy.
Because I'm a cowboy. On a steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. Great song.
Woo! Will, after the owners' meeting, do you think if the Raiders do trade up, we will have to wait until the draft? Lots of smoke, making me too hopeful. First off, cheers to you.
Love the smoke.
Will Duncan's got a hell of a beard. That's a hell of a beard. We got Fat Bearded Dad, and then we have Will Duncan. I mean, two elite beards. I will say, I think if a trade ends up going down, it probably doesn't happen until like right up to the draft. And there's multiple reasons why. One, if any team right now trades up into the top 4 picks, so 4, 3, or 2, you're probably going to overspend. NFL teams don't want to end up doing that. On top of that, there's that old saying that deadlines make deals, right? I think the closer and closer those deadlines get, the NFL draft I'm talking about, then you could see something potentially end up going down. But also, like, if you're a team like the Raiders, or if you're a team that's, like, hoping, like, I don't want to overpay too much, and I kind of look at it as almost I'm doing some car shopping right now, right? Doing some car shopping right now, and I'm not going to buy a car, but I'm going to look all the time. And then maybe around Memorial Day, I might get a car. Maybe right before the new year, I might get a new car. I want to wait till I get that deal that I'm like, you know what? That's too good to let go. And for the Raiders, that situation might be in the draft where J.J. McCarthy goes number 2 overall. You pick up the phone and you call then. Drake May goes number 2 overall. J.J. McCarthy goes number 3 overall. Like, in that situation, if you're the Raiders, you're going to call and you're going to make it happen because it's too good to not take that deal.
Who are you going to call?
The Arizona Cardinals.
No, who are you going to call?
The New England Patriots.
Wrong. Who are you going to call?
The Washington Commanders.
Chad, if you could help him out.
Ghostbusters!
There we go. There we go.
Let's go to Brandon. Maybe the last one ever. We have to do it one last time for old time's sake. Shout out for locals. Locals. We had a fun run. Yesterday was the last local show that I will ever do. Yep, last one ever. But good news. I am going to start doing a lot more like Instagram lives on Wednesday. I'm going to start doing some more like Twitter streams on Wednesday. So we're going to try to take everything that we did on locals, and I just want to be able to reach more people out there. It's going to be free content that you guys can get, and I think it'll be a lot easier to just be able to have those interactions and be able to have a good time. I'm hoping everything works out pretty smooth. So Brandon, from the bottom of my heart, man, thank you for supporting locals. You were probably the Mount Raider more over on locals. So shout out to you, bro. Let's go to Herman J.
Mortimer. Which Herman always sending me funny stuff on Instagram and Twitter.
I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm telling you, Mitch, that Tannehill is a turnover machine just like Jimmy G. You're better off drafting Penix or McCarthy. I will say I'd rather have J.J. McCarthy than Ryan Tannehill. There's at least some upside into that, and could not agree more, Michael Penix Jr. My question to you is, Herman, who's going to be better as a pro, Tua Tagovailoa or Michael Penix?
Tua, I think.
You think Tua?
I think. All right, next one, which don't look at the screen yet. Don't look. All right, ready?
Yep.
All right, look at me. What does a turned-on frog say? Rub it.
That's a good one. I was thinking of like ribbit. I was like, what is gonna be rub it? That's funny as hell.
Oh, good one, Luis. Good joke. I liked it. Ruben Hernandez. Okay, crazy question. Could the Raiders use Minshew as some kind of trade value to trade up? I would say no, because I don't see a team. I think it's just effed up if a team were to sign somebody and immediately go back and trade them.
Yeah, and the other part of it is like, is there a team out there that wants to trade for Gardner Minshew? You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have any value. And if you're the Raiders, right, and if you're going to talk about trade value, if Justin Fields went for a 6 that can turn into a 4th, what is Gardner Minshew going to go for? Let's say he goes for the exact same, which I don't think happens, but he goes for the exact same. That doesn't help you trade up. I mean, that's like, if you were to trade Gardner Minshew legitimately in the NFL draft to help you go up, I mean, you're talking about going from your 6th round pick to help you get up to like where your 5th round pick is, like at 208 to 148. There you go. Like that's what Gardner Minshew and Aidan O'Connell would do.
The real Raider Bat Dad. Thank you for the $1 super chat.
Is that bath time? Wearing a hat in bath time. Wild.
Goes hard. Dragger Drury. If we were able to trade this year's first for next year's first and trade around some other things to get 3 or 4 first-round picks, would you? So he's saying, would you basically, which I don't think the Raiders are in a position to where they can get that amount of draft capital. He's basically saying, would you trade your first this year to have a team move up? This would be like a team from the 2nd round moving up and giving you their first next year.
I'll say this. It's an intriguing idea, and if, let's say, I talked about this literally this past weekend with somebody that came up to me at the bar, and it was, if Jayden Daniels is in next year's draft, my answer to this question is yes. Like, the only way that you're going to do something like this is if there is a quarterback that your team, and when I say your team, Telesco head coach, everybody all together is like, that's the guy that I want, right? Like, you stockpile for draft picks, and there's been teams in years past, like the Dolphins did it a few years ago to, kind of help them get Tua. But, like, in this year's draft, I just think that they want Jayden Daniels. Like, Jayden's that team's golden goose. Like, that's the guy that they want. In next year's draft, who's better right now that you know of that you're like, I'm willing to sacrifice my first-round pick to get a first-round pick in next year's draft?
Whose goose is that golden?
I think Cameron Ward's going to be an interesting QB. Shedeur Sanders is going to get a lot of hype. But, also you go back to what Deion Sanders said. I mean, Deion Sanders literally said that he's like, Shedeur's not going to go to every NFL team. And I do think that there is a world that we're about to get into. And, you've kind of already seen it in professional sports where players have a lot more say over the owners, right? Like, I mean, they do. Like 10 years ago, players did not have nearly the power that they do today. And I do think social media is a big part of that, and players being able to build brands and owners knowing like, wow, that guy makes me a lot of money, right? So now fast forward, and now with NIL deals and some of these college athletes, it's going to start happening there, and it's going to start happening with that transition to the NFL where I do think it's going to be a lot more common for certain people like a Shedeur Sanders who's got Deion in his corner to be able to do that. Like, another player that I think could do it, don't think he would because doesn't seem like that type of guy, but Brendan Rice, receiver from USC, right? He don't have the pedigree, but if Jerry Rice, the greatest receiver of all time, was like, my son's not going to a certain teams, people would be like, all right, well, it's Jerry Rice. Like, he's been in the NFL. Like, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Even like Frank Gore Jr., maybe he could do it. Like,
no way. He's lucky to get whatever team takes him.
I meant more like, could his dad be like, say that because he's been in the league for a long time?
No, only because his son isn't as good as the other guys.
Yeah, and
if he was better.
I'm going down the totem pole here, but I'm with you.
The real Raider Bat Dad.
Thoughts on a trade back with Detroit for 29, 61, 73, and 2025 second?
I mean, yes, if they say yes to that.
They're not doing that.
That's way more than what I think you're going to get.
Yeah, I think based on the trade that you put out there, you'd be lucky to get. I mean, if they offered you 29, 61,
and
then
73.
I mean, you're not 73, 61, 29 for the Lions. I think that's way over the value.
I think just that for 13 would be a little bit of a stretch. But all this together, I think you're more than likely to get a 29, 61, and then a 2025 second.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, if this trade was offered to me, I'd take it in a heartbeat because you might be able to get Penix at 29. Then you might be able to get...
only if you can't trade up.
Yes. Like, this is a trade that you make on draft day because all the quarterbacks are gone. And, I mean, I still think the Raiders would be tempted to take a Fuaga or an offensive tackle, if you will. But there are a lot of good tackles. Like, you could address potentially tackle, corner. I mean, imagine if I told you got like a, I don't know, I'm trying to think. Amarius Mims from Georgia, which maybe he doesn't fall to 29. Like a Tyler Guyton. Ennis Rakestraw probably won't be there at 61. A Peyton Wilson.
But you'd still have your pick at 44.
Yeah, that's true. Rakestraw, Peyton Wilson, and then... Yeah, I'll tell you what. That'd be a hell of a draft haul. Let's go to 93, Navman. You do look a bit more thirsty, Mitch.
Well, Navman, today is the day that you've been waiting for. Yeah. I know you love saying that you want to get us to drink.
Yeah.
One, you get another entry, or you get 2 entries into the Raiders helmet raffle. You also get 3 bangs and a beer bomb.
Bingo.
And Mitch said every 100 we're adding somebody from the chat into our Raiders helmet raffle as well.
Cameron Abbott, you in.
So the season of giving.
Cameron Abbott is in for our duck race, which means right now 3 people are in. $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365.
EV, thoughts? First, you get Terrion Arnold. Second,
Okay.
Braden Fisk or Kingsley, the tackle out of BYU, I believe. Third, you get Murphy, the edge rusher, or Fisher at offensive tackle. Fourth, BB, the guard, or Marshawn Lloyd. Fifth, Travis at QB or Zach Zinter. Sixth, Omar S. or Tanner C. Offensive tackles. Don't know that.
Yeah.
Seventh, Trey Taylor, safety. Seventh, Sheridan, running
all right,
back.
I'll say this because I know
Watson.
it probably took you a long time to type all that. I would be more than okay taking Terrion Arnold in the first. I think Fisk or Kingsley, that last name I have not been able to figure out, the offensive tackle from BYU. Based on Raiders' needs, I'd actually rather you go with Kingsley, though Fisk might be the better player. Murphy or Fisher at offensive tackle, it would kind of depend on what you thought of Thayer Munford at your offensive tackle position, just because if you're like, we need an OT, and based on this, you probably are going to need an offensive tackle, go get the guy from Notre Dame, put him at right tackle, maybe you kick Dylan Parham over to right guard, kick Thayer over to left guard. You could do a few different things there. The steal of the draft for this one to me is BB. I don't think BB makes it to round 4. I think he goes a lot earlier in this case.
You like Marshawn Lloyd, too.
Love me some Marshawn Lloyd. If he's there.
Is the 4th too early for you for that?
No.
Fifth, you've already said that you don't want Travis for more than a 6.
I'm not really a Jordan Travis guy. Some people are going to take chances on him. I probably won't be that dude. Zach Zinter is a very sneaky draft pick. That's going to be a guy that people forget about and ends up being
it's a stash guy, though.
Correct. Can't play. He won't be playing this year. So you're hoping and having him. Like if the Raiders legitimately wanted Zach Zinter after they went to the Michigan Pro Day, then you should probably sign a veteran guard to a 1-year deal, cheap deal. Let him be the starting guard this season. Say bon voyage to him, and then you're rocking Dylan Parham, Andre James, and Zach Zinter going forward. Like, that's a core that you could probably keep together for 4 or 5 years, and it's going to be a good core.
Oh, EV also sent in another super chat. He said, sorry for the long question. Don't have to say sorry. All good, EV. All good. Melly Williams, trade away all of this year's draft picks and next year's for Jayden Daniels. No, I'm not doing that.
Trade away all of this year's draft picks and next year's. To be honest, that costs way more than 3 firsts. Like, if you were an NFL team and if you looked at the NFL trade value chart.
No way you do that because, God forbid, Jayden Daniels is a bust. You're screwed. Like, Telesco and AP automatically fired. Because you can't do anything. Like, you have to sign guys, and then your cap is limited with the amount because you need to pay some of your big players that are coming up, like a Malcolm Kuntz, like a Robert Spillane. You wouldn't have any money to pay them.
Like, when I say this, I think it surprises people at times because everyone thinks that all the first-round picks are all equal in value. It's not really how NFL teams look at it. And the way that, the trade value chart for the NFL is like if you're taking a pick in 2025 first, that has the same value as a second-round pick in this year's draft. So for an NFL team to do all of this, I mean, it is light years more than 3 first-round picks. Like
light years.
I mean, if you were to do this, you better get the number 1 overall pick, in my book.
Yes, I agree.
Let's go to Raider Gaines. AP and Prime have been friends a long time and knows Prime's kids well. Also, Brady has a financial relationship with Shador. If we don't get Jayden, we are getting Sanders next season. My question with you is, no! 93 Devin! Bang! Fill it up, Buttercup.
Enough said.
I'll go back to that one then, Raider Gaines. I'll go back to it in just a minute.
However, the draft capital we would have to give up to get JD, and a fail is a bit high of a risk for the future. Penix would be a good role late in the first. Worst case, 4th round and chance on Jordan Travis. Cheers, Mitch. Cheers, 93 Navman. And y'all know the rule now. He's in the helmet raffle. Whoever spams 93 the most gets a free entry into our helmet raffle at the end of today's program. Go down and spam 93. Whoever spams it the most, you get a free entry into our helmet raffle.
Ooh, Mr. 93 Navman. Mr. Navman. Navman's been balling. This now puts Navman in 5th place for our March bang race.
All right. Count to 5. I'm just going to look over the first name that I see.
Yep.
That's who's going to win it, all right?
Yep.
Count it down.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Big luck.
Big luck. You in. If you're like, Mitch, what am I in for? Every hundo that we get today, we are going to add somebody in for a raffle for a chance to win our Raiders helmet signed by Jeremy Chuggs and I. If you're like, Mitch, I don't see the signature, we haven't signed it yet. Chuggs and I are going to sign it. We'll send it out to you. All I'll need then for anybody that wins, Venmo me $1, unless I already have your Venmo. That way I can just get your first name, last name, and shipping address. I'll send you the $1 right back.
Back to Raider Gaines' question.
Yep.
Oh, well, did you answer the Navman about JD might be too much of a risk, Penix late round 1, or Jordan Travis round 4?
Okay. Here's the thing. Every single player is a risk in the NFL draft. I am a believer in Jayden, and maybe that's a little bit, more persuasive for me, where I'm like, I'm okay giving up the picks because I just believe that he's going to be a good NFL quarterback. So there's that part of it. On top of that is the other thing that's very important for young quarterbacks, and you're kind of already seeing it in the NFL. I mean, think about how many QBs just after a year or two have already been traded or have been given up on. I can promise you this: Antonio Pierce is going to have the longest leash possible for Jayden Daniels. Like, they could have him sit for a year, and they're like, all right, we'll see what he has. Like, he could struggle. They are going to keep with him because, that is their guy. And I'm a believer when you have a quarterback like Jayden that has the athletic ability that he has, you put a long leash on him, and it's going to be, beneficial for a quarterback like that. I get it's a risk. The safer pick, I will admit, is Michael Penix Jr. I don't know if he has the same upside. His injuries, I will say, are almost just as similar as how concerned I am with Jayden. But the other part of that is I don't know how well Penix fits in Getsy's offense. And I don't know how well, Daniels is going to fit in Getsy's offense.
Will a Penix fit in his offense?
Time will tell. All right, back to Gaines here. I know what you're saying about getting Shador, But, like, unless if Shador has the exact same season like he did last year, he's a top 10 pick lock. Okay? Quarterbacks go up usually a little bit higher. And I do think that there's going to be NFL teams out there that value Shador a little bit higher just because, I mean, let's face it, he's going to bring in so much money to that team. And there are some owners that they care more about making money than they do winning football games. And, you know, like, I get it. They're not the ones making the picks, but sometimes, you know, they have a lot of influence in certain situations. I'll tell you this. I don't know if you guys saw the blow-up between Robert Saleh and Woody Johnson. One of my buddies who I worked with, the Jets, still works there and was like, based on some conversations that they've heard in the building, Woody wants the Jets to do something that Saleh doesn't want to do. And I am only allowed to say that. But, like, there's times where that type of shit happens, right? Like, it does. The other part with this, again, is are the Raiders going to be a team that's potentially in the top 10? Because with their defense, with the quarterback play, I don't see them being worse than 13th overall. So, like, I think it's going to cost even more to get a quarterback next season. Now, maybe that's foolish for me to think that the Raiders are a potential playoff caliber team, but they almost made the playoffs last year with the worst quarterback play in the NFL and a defense that I expect to be better this upcoming season with quarterback play that I expect to be better this season. Like, with a head coach that you could say whatever you want about Antonio Pierce. Is there anybody in this chat right now, Y for yes and for no, that thinks that Josh McDaniels is a better head coach than Antonio Pierce? So when you put all of those things into one equation, I don't see how the Raiders are worse than 8 wins.
Also,
I don't see it.
Astros up on the Yankees 4-0.
Uh-oh.
Yankees blow. Smitty, the Yankees blow. Yankees blow hard.
What's funny? Oh, I thought he took off the jersey. I'm not going to lie.
Let me know your favorite baseball team down in the comments section if you have one. Mitch, I know you're a Mets fan.
Let's go Mets.
I'm a Stros fan.
They're not playing today, though, which hurts me.
The best organization in Major League Baseball.
The Mets, I agree. Anthony Green, you in.
Let's
$20
go, Stros.
Venmo.
Let's go, Stros.
For a chance to win $40. Let's go to my man Sean here. What up, Sean? Raiders move up to 3 pick. Then Chargers call and offer 2024 pick and Herbert. Do you trade or take Daniels? So you're saying the Raiders just gave up all those picks to move up to number 3. Is that what you're saying? So you move up all those picks to number 3. I need a napkin. Hang on a second. I thought I spilled a little bit. Hang on. I don't want to ruin my computer. So you're saying I get Justin Herbert and the number 5 overall pick? If that's what you're telling me, then my answer, crazy enough, is that one I probably do. Like, that's something that I do. Because I think the only way that trade happens, what you're talking about, is if the Chargers go get J.J. McCarthy. And I am not a believer in McCarthy. So if McCarthy were to go to the Chargers, the Raiders get Justin Herbert, and you get number 5, you're getting Malik Neighbors, or you're getting Marvin Harrison Jr., or you're getting Joe Walton or something. You wouldn't do it. This would never happen.
Yeah, I'm saying I would. I just don't think this would ever. I think the Chargers would call your bluff and be like, all right.
We got a better chance of signing Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah. Like.
I mean, I like this creativity, though. I really do. Try to sling it in there. I missed.
Sling it in where?
The garbage.
You hit the table.
I know. Well, I had the angle. I was high.
Eric, I know.
With pro days over, what's your stand on Penix and Daniels? Who had a better pro day? Shout out to you and Chuggs. I'll say this, my opinion, and I hate, and I mean I hate, when people change their tone on a quarterback based off of a pro day, and honestly, even based off of a combine. If, like, on the totem pole of how much things matter, tape, quarterback tape, it's up here, right? I do think, like, the mental part of the game is very important, but, like, pro days, especially pro days, combine, I mean, it's so down here, it's not even funny to me. Like, I don't care about the athletic Olympics, right? Like I don't care about the underwear Olympics. It doesn't really move mountains for me. So my takes and everything I've said on Jayden, my takes on Penix, if anything, my like in Penix has grown a little bit because he came out that he's healthy, right? Like all the medical reports say that he's good. You saw his athletic ability shown on tape, which he can run. But it's the tape, man. There's certain positions, I guess, if you want to consider certain guys based on athletic abilities. But for a quarterback, I mean, it's tape. I don't worry about all that other stuff. I don't worry about it. What up, Devin Smith? I'm with Devin. Pro days, man, they don't mean anything. Like, the reason why I just find them hilarious is when people are like, oh, wow, that guy completed a 60, like Joe Milton's like 80-yard throw today. That's unbelievably impressive. It is unbelievably impressive for you to throw an 80-yard football. However, nobody's covering the receiver. Nobody else is on the field. Nobody's coming after him, right? Like, I don't know. It's like evaluating a starting pitcher, right? Like, imagine evaluating a starting pitcher in baseball based off of a long toss. Like, wow, that guy just threw a baseball 100 yards. Cool. I don't care. What up, Hector? What's up, Mitch? Raiders should trade second-round pick and third-round pick for the Cardinals pick at 24.
I saw that.
My question is why?
Hilarious.
And if there's somebody that you're targeting, sure. Like, I can wrap my mind around it. If somebody's dropping in the draft, sure, I can wrap my mind around it. But
I think the trade value works out. I think you could get away with a second and a fourth.
I don't think that's
for
enough.
24.
Yeah, I mean, the trade value chart says no. It's close though. I think it needs to be.
I mean, for 20, what did the Vikings do with the Texans for 23? That was that was 42, and then they got. Oh, they did have to give up a second-round pick next year.
Yeah. Based on the trade value chart, if you were to give up that for the Raiders, I mean, it's close. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's close-ish, but no, you got to do more. I mean, even according to the trade value chart, pick 44 and pick 77 technically is, like, still not enough.
Where would that get you? Like 29, 30?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Robert Jansen, trade up for JD and trade Davante Adams for Ayuk in a third or fourth rounder.
49ers say no. I love me some Davante Adams, don't get me wrong, but I actually think if you were to ask a lot of NFL teams right now, what wide receiver would you rather have? And the way that you have to think about it is not just 1 year. You probably got to think about it. If you're going to trade for Davante, you got to think about it in that 3-year window. I think if you were to ask a lot of NFL teams out there, would you rather have Davante Adams on his contract the next 3 years or Brandon Ayuk on a brand new contract over the next 3 years? I actually think a lot of teams would pick Brandon Ayuk. And he's a hell of a receiver. He's not as good as Davante Adams, and I'm not saying that at all. But on the price tag alone, the age element on top of that, I actually don't think if you offered Davante Adams straight up for Ayuk, I think the 49ers would say no to that. All right, let's go to the Los Angeles bracket here for our duck races. Remember, it's Sweet 16 time, okay? Sweet 16 time. We got Jose Corona up against Rob Fravor, and then Justin Gilbert taking on Lord Cameron Abbott. Winner.
His Cinderella story continue on?
I mean, a 9 seed make it to the Elite 8?
No, the 14 seed.
Who's 14? Oh, that's the next race.
Justin Gilbert.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm like, I can't see apparently. Here we go. Fravor, Corona, go. Dude, this is, you remember the last time we did a bike race? The person that did not wear that type of helmet won.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a close one. Right here at halftime, Corona by a little bit. However, I like where Fravor's at. Now, if Corona kicks on the nos at the same time that Fravor does, this could be a very interesting. Yeah, Corona's got it.
Done.
Corona's got it. Fravor waited too long. Jose Corona What a big win, the 9th seed to the Elite
Sharona.
8. To the Elite 8. Fravor waited too long, man. He waited way too long. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. I wish he would have kicked in the nos a little bit earlier. Rob's an experienced racer. So for Jose, who's been taking names, man, this entire tournament, don't sleep on Jose Corona, the 9th seed. What's the lowest seed to ever win an NCAA tournament?
That's a Smitty question.
It's a 9 seed.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know.
A 9 seed is the lowest seed ever to win the NCAA tournament. Can you imagine in today's day and age, like an 8 seed winning it or a 9 seed winning it?
I could, with it being like a SEC school or like a bigger school that like.
I feel like the only team that I'd put money on it for would be Michigan State because it is though.
Yeah, or like exactly. Like Michigan State was a 9 seed this year. I could see something like that happening.
I mean, that's true. I mean, you see crazy shit all the time.
I think it would be crazier like 10 or above, like a small school.
Yeah, like Florida Gulf Coast or George
Yeah,
Mason. Or,
Yale.
yeah, dude. Can you imagine if Yale won it all?
That's what
I'll tell you what, Justin Gilbert's got a shot. Vermont from Patrick B. Very true. Very, very true.
All right.
Also, if you're like, I like these duck races and you want to get in one today, $20 Venmo, Mitchell Ren 365. Right now, 20 to get in.
I didn't even move them over.
You would win $40. You're all right. I've been shouting them out.
Jeremy.
I've been shouting them out. Also, Chuggs, we are 10 likes away from a wheel spin.
Are you nervous?
I mean, you did the last beer bong, and I'm nervous about what's on there. Though I feel like the wheel's been kind of effing you.
Are you nervous now? Are you nervous now?
You're making me more nervous, I'll tell you that. You're definitely making me more and more nervous. Oh, I guess we started already. Cameron takes the early lead. He's popped out for a second. I almost like think of this as like swimming. Like when I was a kid where like I would randomly come up for a breath like once in a while. I'll tell you what. I'm worried that Cameron got out to too much of a lead here.
Oh, no!
I think Gilbert's going to take this
Justin
one.
Gilbert!
The 14th seed!
Justin Gilbert!
No way! He did it! Justin Gilbert!
Do you
Oh my gosh!
believe in miracles?
A 14 seed into the Elite Eight.
Wow.
Which I will say this, and I feel like Justin Gilbert is probably what's like a really good school that you feel like got underseeded? Because I actually think I underseeded Gilbert based on, bro, Gilbert has entered in, I'm not shitting you, probably 50 races and 50 duck races in his time.
I would say Justin Gilbert is like a school that got in from like one of those mid-majors that maybe didn't have their best year, but they still deserved a spot, like a Memphis or like a
I feel like
a Creighton if they were a 14 seed. St. John's or St. Mary's, like a Big East school that got in and got underseeded a little bit.
I feel like Justin Gilbert right now is hot.
Yeah. Whenever Curry was in school.
Oh, all right. What was that, Dayton?
I don't
know.
know.
Was it Dayton?
I don't think it was Dayton.
Patrick B, was it Dayton?
Smitty, what school did Steph go to? Davidson.
Davidson. I was going to say, Dayton didn't seem right to me because I know they're the Flyers. Davidson.
Yeah, that's a good comp, Patrick B.
I like that one.
Good comp.
Also, I see somebody else just got in for our duck race at the end of the show. No Santana. No Santana. All right. So that means we have...
Update. Astros are now only leading 4-2.
Uh-oh.
And Yankees have bases loaded, 2 outs in the 5th.
Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Remember, y'all, if you want to get in for a chance to win a little bit of money today, we are doing a duck race, which I just saw Jamari got in. Jamari's another one. He's always in them. Jamari Murray 4-3.
3-point goal.
3-point goal. What up, 93 Nab Man? After this, I want to get into our last segment of the day. Nab Man, AP will require the personality fits the Raider way, no doubt. Draft or trade. He already created that in a short time. I mean, he said he was going to do that, right? Like, he said that basically he was the gatekeeper and he's going to keep all the evil out. But, like, when you're a head coach like Antonio Pierce, you demand respect. Like, where, when you're a guy like Josh McDaniels, I'm sorry. Every time McDaniels talked, it sounded like his tail was between his legs, right? Like, it sounded like he was... It kind of reminded me when McDaniels talked. It reminded me of like when something you'd see like in a movie where somebody like randomly like wakes up, they're in a bad dream, and somehow like they're in their underwear and they're super insecure about it. Like that's Josh McDaniels every time he talks. Antonio Pierce goes up there and he commands an audience. And when you're a head coach like that, when you're a man like that, when you're a leader like that, I don't care who you are. If you breathe air and you take on that type of role when you walk into a room, people listen to you and people demand that respect. Crash Dog. What did I miss? I mean, death taxes, locals from Brandon, and Semper Fi.
Yeah, I would say, Crash Dog, all you missed is the Raiders are not signing Ryan Tannehill.
Correct.
Joe Milton, some level of interest with the Raiders.
Correct.
Michael Penix had a great pro day. Drake May, jury's still out whether or not he'll go number 2 or number 3.
Yep.
And
Juan Perez, you in?
We had a couple March Madness duck races.
Couple March Madness duck races. Robert Price.
Real Cowboy.
In.
Since we are in March Madness, do you know who was credited for the invention of the jump shot? What school he attended? Jackie Moon, Indiana Tech University.
Invented the jump shot.
Before they just stayed on the ground. They didn't jump.
That's a good dad joke. Honestly, I have no idea. I have absolutely positively no idea. Oh, wait. Murray wants to get in again. Murray wants to get in again. I'm going to put it as Murray. Yeah, I have no idea. Do you guys know? I have no idea.
Smitty, do you know who is credited for inventing the jump shot?
And which school he attended?
Yale?
All right, so Foot's saying Yale. Is that the name?
No, that's the school.
Thank you.
Somebody said Kenny Sailor's University of Wyoming.
No idea.
No clue. Miggy Camacho.
Do your homework, Foot. What up, Miggy? What up, Miggy?
It's a mom joke. I liked it.
Very, very good. All right, y'all. Let's figure out who's going to be the Raiders starting quarterback this upcoming season, though we owe a wheel spin. We do owe a wheel spin.
Real Cowboy did say Kenny Sailor's University of Wyoming. Now I know.
Navman. If you want, I can put it as Navman. I just say the real name, but I got you. Going forward, I got you. All right. Dude, I'm telling you, the wheel doesn't like you. The wheel has been my friend.
The wheel's a fickle, fickle mistress.
The wheel has been my friend. Oh, dude, I just saw that you have funny tweet on here. I don't want that. That's a disaster. Before Easter, you never know what can happen. If it lands on Jeremy funny tweet, I'm going to say Good Friday, LOL. Really?
The more you know.
Smitty said it's correct.
And if Smitty says it's correct, it must be. He said he binged it.
Yep.
Oh!
Chance! Whoever spams Chance the most.
It's a chance.
You're getting a chance at the helmet.
See what you did there.
I didn't do it. You did it.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
Let's see. Commanders will mess up and draft Drake May, which leads us to giving up 3 firsts for to the Patriots for Daniels, which I'm totally fine with. Love you, brothers. It's great weather in Dallas today. Can't agree more with you. Can't wait for draft week. Let's go! Raiders!
Are you in Dallas, Chance? He is? Really? In Dallas.
We hung out last weekend.
I can't talk for serious. Are you going out tonight? Watch any college basketball?
A trivia game.
Of course, of course. Chance, if you do live in Dallas, I heard a few guys from Chat Sports are going into the Nodding Donkey. That's what I heard.
Are you going?
Huh?
Are you going there?
No.
If you don't want to meet me, go there.
I'm going to go to a place walking distance to the Nodding Donkey. And if Chance shows up to the Nodding Donkey, you find somebody that works at Chat Sports, you'll know. And I'll show up.
Smitty will be there, the guy who was just over here.
There you go. I'm going to be at a bar right next to it. Truth. Real statement. I will be there.
Not trying to shout out the other bar.
No, not yet. Not yet. I don't know. My thing is, if I shout out that bar, Alex at least wants us to have dinner by ourselves, and then she said after we could go meet, because there's a game tonight at 9? It's Iowa State. She said, like, if people are still at the donk, then we'll go. So I got to have dinner with the fiance first. All right, I got to take this down, and then would you mind if I took a pee after this to do the next seg?
Yeah.
I got to take a little tinkle.
Let's see. And who has been spamming? I mean, I think I got to give it. Oh, I wish I could give 2 spots. I give 2 spots because these 2 people have been spamming it the whole time, and they've been spamming all the names.
F it. Let's do it. Every hundo we get from here on out, we're putting in 2 names.
Give me Ron Raspberry.
Mr. Raspberry.
And Dre Buto. They've both been spamming it for the past 2 minutes. They've been doing every single name.
All right, so
well.
Ron Raspberry. Okay.
And Dre Buto.
Dre. I have no idea how to spell that.
B-U-E-T-O-W.
I spelled it B-E-U-T-O.
Perfect.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. All right, Chuggs is going to hang out with y'all for just a second. In this scenario, though, Chance, I will admit, I actually don't think that they draft. I think the Commanders legitimately draft JJ. I am really, really starting to think that. And based on what Pelissero said, and that's kind of my gut feeling, a lot of hype around McCarthy. There's a lot of teams, according to a lot of NFL insiders, that McCarthy is QB2. QB2. God, I hope so. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta go take a leak. Let's just say rules are rules, and the way that I'm going to do this is if you send in a 10, it's fireball. If you send in a 20, it's tequila. But if you send in a 20, at least give me a dad joke. At least give me a dad joke. I'll be right back. Rules are rules.
So if you missed Mitch's show this morning, he talked about Davante Adams and how he has been kind of leaving a Hansel and Gretel breadcrumb trail to Jayden Daniels. He wants Jayden Daniels in Las Vegas. So if Davante wants Jayden Daniels, should Las Vegas do everything they possibly can, even if it means trading every pick in this year's draft, to get Jayden Daniels? Give me a yes. Give me a no. What say you? You missed it this morning. Davante shouted out Jayden Daniels once again on Instagram right here. He put this on his story. Just a picture of Jayden Daniels that says, "My resume speaks for itself." A quote from Jayden Daniels. This is the second time Davante Adams has posted about Jayden Daniels. Oh, wow. Zahn, you crazy MFer. You crazy MFer, Mr. David Zahn. Let me know, after seeing that, after hearing what Antonio Pierce has said, and obviously his history with Jayden Daniels, should they sell the farm to go get him? Give me a yes, give me a no, as shot clock, you know the rules. Mr. David Zahn hitting him with the shot clock. That's a couple tequila shots right there and a fireball shot. Every 10 is fireball, every 20 is tequila. Patrick B with the alley-oop said, I'm right there with you, Zahn. Who's going to keep this train going? Who's going to keep this train going? Patrick B. And you know what? Because we just got 250s, I'm going to add one more person into the race right now. All you got to do is spam DP for David and Patrick. Whoever spams DP the most, you're going to get a spot in our Raiders helmet raffle that we're having at the end of today's show. Whoever spams DP the most for David and Patrick, you're getting in. Also, it's a lot of shots for Mitch coming up. A lot of shots. That's 5 tequila shots for Mitch. DP, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Who wants it? Who wants it? Let me know down in the comment section. Ooh. Wow, a lot of people. I'm going to go with Rick Aguilar. Rick Aguilar has been spamming it. David Zahn, or not David Zahn, Tryvan. Oh, wow. We are getting all of Mount Raynor getting into it today. Tryvan with the 50-piece. Wow. Are we going to keep the train going? Are we going to keep it going? He's not returned yet. Oh! Navman! Wow. Okay.
This is a lot.
All right, we already got Rick Aguilar. Now whoever spams 93, you're getting in for our helmet raffle at the end of today's show.
You got to be shitting me.
I'm going to give away 2 spots. Whoever spams Tryvan and 93.
You got to be shitting me.
You can either spam 93 or you can spam Tryvan because I'm giving 2 spots away.
I just feel like Tryvan just lurks. Tryvan just, he's a great white. He just lurks underneath, and as soon as he smells blood
For 93 Navman.
or pee, he's got to.
For 93 Navman, I'm giving it to Yoda Jenkins. Now for Tryvan.
Dude, I'll say this. This puts Navman now in 4th place in our bang race.
Spam Tryvan. Who wants the spot from Tryvan?
I mean, are you shitting me? What do I owe?
Well, I read 93 Navman. You owe quite a bit.
This is.
Let's see. There is a chance that Mitch doesn't make the dinner date. Thanks for the help at Chance. Keep it flowing, Chuggs. Need to get that CB1 in a trade soon.
All right, so
that way we can take that off the needs in draft. Good luck, Mitch.
So Zahn, Patrick B, Tryvan.
So that is,
I mean,
5 tequila shots, 5 fireball shots.
dude, that's just
Navman, I'll do the beer bong for Navman.
okay.
Or do you want me to take the 5 fireball shots for you?
Yeah.
You can either do, you want, okay?
Yeah, take those.
So you owe 5 tequila shots and a beer bong. And last one, you also owe 1 fireball shot from Santana El Preacher.
All right. You guys are.
Here, you take that, you do the 1 shot, and then I'll do your 5 fireball shots.
All right. All right.
And the person who spammed Tryvan the most, let me look. You're going to love this name.
What?
Got Dat Kush. I sent you all 3 names that got the free entries.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what are you? All right, so Rick, pick somebody besides Yoda. Yoda's already in. Yoda, I already have you down for one, and I want to give somebody else a chance too.
I'm gonna go.
Keep
with
it going. Keep it going.
Javier Naranjo.
Javier Naranjo. I was gonna say, yeah, you're probably gonna have to send me that. Javier Naranjo. All right, I got it. You in? I like it.
Santana El Preacher does say rules are rules. I'll trade any picks. Just keep like a 3 or a 4th round pick. No players for JD. I believe in who we have.
Shout out to Patrick B. Try Van David's on Mount Raider Moore, man. I think Mount Raider Moore is all about just making sure that the chat has a good time. Chuggs,
Yeah.
I'll also say this. We are 200 away from a Chuggs boot. That's too heavy of a shot. I'm going to take a smaller one. I'm not going to be able to do all 5 of these back to back. There's no way.
Woo. Why is it so spicy?
No way, man. No way.
Why is it spicy?
What's insane is we've been live for almost 2 hours, and we've done 1 segment.
I'll believe it.
You know what we need to do to buy me some time? Let's do 2 more duck races segment, and then we'll do 2 more duck races.
Okay.
I'm not going to be able to do those 3 shots of tequila right away.
Chantastic. If you are there, Mitch, I'm going. I'm not too far. Me, nice Spanish cuisine, close.
Petey was just telling me about this place.
The tapas place.
Yes, tapas. Tapas C. C tapas or something like that.
See tapas.
Chance, is that it? C tapas? If you're there, Mitch, I'm going.
The nod.
I'll say this.
Sounds like the donk tonight.
I will make an appearance at the Nodding Donkey tonight. Let's say
9:30?
Let's do 9 o'clock. Like
9?
right when the game starts.
All right.
I'm buying the first few rounds, Chance.
Get a pitcher.
I did play that in college. Yep.
All right. Oh.
Allie Barefoot's also going to be in attendance, I am told.
Mitch said free drinks for Allie as well. That's what he just said.
Oh. What's funny is I actually don't remember saying that.
Dude, you're too drunk. I'm sorry.
You're too drunk to taste this chicken.
We got 2 races coming up. Patrick B., Troy Williams, Rodolfo Kemp, and Miggy Camacho for a chance to make the Elite 8. But they're going crazy today, Mitch. Another one from L.A. Crash Dog.
You gotta
a
be
50
shitting me.
piece. Just went back and figured out all the helmet talk. Put me in. Been working too much. Miss hanging out with the fam. Real One for life. Raider Nation for life. And Semper Fi. Put Crash Dog in.
He's in.
Put him in.
You in. So today we are giving away this Raiders helmet. We're doing a raffle for it. So every time somebody sends in a hundo or every time somebody sends in a 50, if you send in a hundo, you get in an extra raffle entry and somebody else we put in, or now we're putting in 2 people. If you're like, you know what, I just want to put myself in, giggity, that's a 50. That's LA Crash Dog. Shout out to Gunny. Shout out to Gunny.
We already had one seed advance to the Elite 8. Will we have 2 with Patrick B. coming up next?
I mean, Rodolfo Kemp, which Rodolfo Kemp right now is NC State. They're just hot. Nobody wants to go up against them. An 11 seed, bulldozing teams, but then there's Miggy Camacho. And Miggy's playing solid ball right now. Solid ball. Here we go. 1 seed, Patrick B. up against Troy Williams. Y'all ready for this one? This is legendary. 3, 2, 1. Winner advances to the Elite 8. I'll tell you what. Is it always a hot dog and a penguin? Because I feel like it's a hot dog a lot, and it's kind of weird. You get a lot of choices. Troy Williams with a little bit of a lead here at halftime by like a point. This is going to be close.
I don't know. I think it's Patrick B.
Somebody needs to make a move right now. Somebody needs to make a move right now. Troy! Patrick B! I think Troy's got him. Troy Williams, what a race. Oh my goodness. Bro, he won by a bun. Dude, by the tip of his wiener, just won that race, man. I'll tell you what. That was an electric race. Troy Williams.
Wow.
That's a huge upset.
No one saw that coming.
I mean, I'll say this. I thought Patrick was going to win that race because there was like a second that he like started to go quick, and I was like, oh, I think he's going to pull it out. Troy Williams, what a race to the Elite Eight. Congratulations to Troy. That's a big dub, man. That's a big one. I mean, could we have a 12 against an 11 in the Elite Eight?
Has that ever happened?
I don't think so. I have no idea. That's why I love March Madness, though. It is insanity all the time. Insanity all the time.
I do wish the whole tournament was in March. Like, I hate that it ends in April, technically.
Oh, you want to speaking of random things that I just thought about that I don't like? Easter is in March. That statement bothers me.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Easter's maybe not the holiday that's like, it's not a Halloween. But imagine if Halloween was in November. That would bother me, actually.
Yeah.
It would. That's how I feel. Here we go. Miggy Camacho up against Rodolfo Kemp, the 11th seed. Winner advances to the Elite Eight. Winner of this whole tournament wins $1,600. I know, it sounds pretty good. 3, 2, 1. Let's ride. Out to the early lead here is Miggy. The Rodolfo, I'm a little bit nervous how much steering's going on and how straight they're driving.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Kemp hit the wrong shift. Camacho, though. Dude, I actually don't. I think Camacho's going down. I think it's going to be Rodolfo Kemp. This is where you hit the NOS. Somebody hit the NOS.
It's just Miggy.
Nobody. Miggy Camacho. Bro, I was waiting for Rodolfo to hit the NOS. I think something happened. I think they ran out of gas. We just did that whole race. What you don't know is they're just going downhill. It's just a downhill race. What a win for Camacho. So Miggy going up against Troy Williams here. That's legendary. Legend, wait for it, dairy. Miggy Camacho, Troy Williams.
And if you want to join our 50-50 raffle at the end of today's show.
Today.
At Mitchell Ren 365, $20 Venmo. What would the winner get right now? How many people do we have in this, John?
All right, so I just saw Gabriel Ruiz, you in. LA Crash Dog, you in. And, oh, wait a minute here. Are y'all throwing curveballs at me? Nope, we're good. All right, everybody in right now, 11 people. Winner gets $110.
$110 hairs.
$110 to the winner today.
All right. Next segment coming up. Top 10 quarterbacks. Mitch could see quarterbacking the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'll tell you what, this segment's going to be, this is going to be something. I've realized tequila's not my friend.
Nope.
Oh, boy. It's never your friend, man. I'll tell you that. All right, here we go. Coming up here.
When did we get ice cream? Oh, wow.
Bro, I would crush some ice cream.
Also, by the way.
Yeah. Big luck. Tequila.
Astros,
everyone's
Yankees
friend.
tied now. 4-4 into the 6th.
Uh-oh. You got spirit fingers over there waving at you. Honestly, he kind of looks like Caleb Williams doing a deadlift. All right.
Smitty looks like a walking spirit finger.
Smitty looks like the Dollar General version of those things outside of gas stations that just do that.
LA Crash Dog, tell Allie I said, "What up, girl?" She said, "What up, man?"
Is that a thing?
What?
But do you guys do that? Oh, I was like, honestly, it's kind of cool. I like
She's
it.
like, I just felt it. I don't know where it came from. I have no clue.
Do your homework.
I have no clue. I'm just funny like that. Jamari,
Maybe that's mom jokes.
do your math. Jamari, let's go Raiders! Ready for this draft, Jamari. You are entered in for a chance to win that Raiders helmet at the end of today's show. And I think we switch it up. I say we go wheel for the helmet.
Okay.
We just do race so much. We're doing a bunch of duck races today.
Okay.
I say I just put everybody's name in the wheel.
I'm in. Though, what we're going to do, I was talking to, I want to do the Madden simulation, but I want to do WWE Royal Rumble in the offseason. Can you, set it to where you do, the Royal Rumble lasts, 2 minutes? Or is it always the same amount of time? Or it's when the last person's in?
Yeah, but I think it would. You can make it shorter.
Okay.
But I think the lowest would probably be around 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh, all right. Not bad. What would be pretty electric is if we did something like this in the offseason. Let's say May. You give everybody as many people as we can get in the month of May. Let's say, again, we get $1,600 worth of a game prize. We just do a random live show. Not any Raiders content. Raiders Report WWE Royal Rumble. Yeah, that sounds pretty killer.
I'm down.
I'm in.
I'm down to clown.
You guys think it's a good idea? Give me a Y for yes, N for no.
One more super chat before we get going. Jonathan Capitelli, I think that's the pasta, had to get a new profile pic. Sorry about the no picture. Any news or updates on Dalton Wagner taking over at right tackle?
Not really from what I've heard. I mean, what I'm really interested to see what happens with Wagner is that's usually the type of player the Raiders' old offensive line coach, Carmen Bracillo, would go out and get a powerful right tackle, big guy, 6'8", probably the biggest guy on the team in all honesty. How is he going to translate in this new offensive system with James Craig? I think until you see what happens in the draft, I think until you see practice in May, June, and July, and for a guy like Wagner, he's always going to be a player that I think that we talk about a lot because he's just a mountain of a human being. But until you go out there and watch him in the preseason and honestly see how Thayer Munford does. I mean, if Thayer's solid and he looks great, maybe they don't hang on to a guy like Wagner because I don't think he's good enough to play on the left side based on his footwork. He's a right tackle only type of player in my opinion. So I think it really comes down to Munford. Maybe it comes down to what the Raiders do in the draft. Wagner, though, will be somebody that we keep a close eye on, but unfortunately, no, I don't have an update.
We got to get into this segment, or I don't think we ever will.
Very true. Coming up, we're going to talk about the Raiders quarterbacks and who it's going to be this upcoming season. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and I'm going to look into my crystal balls. I'm going to try to figure out who that Las Vegas Raiders starting quarterback is going to be this upcoming season. So what I ended up doing is I ranked the QBs from 10 all the way down to 1, and the idea is who I would be willing to bet money on, not who I want, right? My mind's telling me something, but my body's telling me something else, right? I'm going to go with my mind here, and I'm going to go with what I honestly believe is the most likely scenario for the Raiders starting quarterback. Before I get into my top 10, though, I want to know from all of y'all, and I think number one, it's going to surprise some people out there. Who's going to be the Raiders starting quarterback in 2024? Is it going to be Aidan O'Connell? Is it going to be Jayden Daniels? Maybe it's Gardner Minshew. Maybe it's Michael Penix, Bo Nix, Spencer Rattler, Caleb Williams. I want to know who you think the Raiders starting quarterback is going to be in 2024. I'll be looking down in the comments. Let's get in here to number 10. It's Tennessee quarterback Joe Milton, who the Las Vegas Raiders have met with and were at least in attendance for his pro day, which from what I heard has done pretty damn well. Milton, though, to me is not the most athletic quarterback that I think people think that he is. He's not a great thrower. Yes, he's a big body guy overall, but at 64.7% completion percentage, I'm worried that he's not going to be efficient enough and not be able to complete enough passes at the NFL level. Do I think that he's a big body QB? Yes, I do. But he's not somebody that's like a Cam Newton. He's not an Anthony Richardson. You're looking for a QB that's less athletic than Richardson and not even close to the thrower that he is either. So even though I hope that the Raiders don't take him high, if you're able to get him in round 6 or 7, it's okay. If you're looking for him in round 4 or 5, I think it's just way too high. Let's go to number 9 here on the list. It's probably the quarterback that I like the most this year. It is Drake Maye, quarterback out of North Carolina. So, Mitch, if you like him so much, why is he at number 9? He's at 9 because I still anticipate, despite the latest rumors that have been going on around J.J. McCarthy, that Drake Maye is probably going to be the number 2 quarterback taken in this year's draft. I know the numbers from last season are not spectacular, but please, God, if you watch tape on Maye, don't watch it from 2023 and make an assessment. Watch his tape in 2022 when he actually had some legit NFL caliber talent around him, and he was a lot better. He can run. He can do a lot of things. Does he have some things that needs to work on? Yeah, no doubt about it. But for the Raiders, if you're going to go up and trade up, it's not going to be for Maye. It's going to be for somebody like Jayden Daniels. So because of that, Maye's ranked at number 9. Also, he's ranked over Joe. I think the Raiders have a better chance of drafting Milton, but in starting, I'd still say Maye would be the top choice. Let's go to Jordan Travis here next up, Florida State quarterback, rolling in here at number 8. And I know that he fractured his leg last season, and I don't anticipate that he's going to end up playing. But based on the overall value of where you'd be able to get him, Raiders, if I had to guess, would probably take him in round 4, somewhere around that area. I am more on the agenda of I would really only want him back in round 5 or round 6, just because I don't think that his skill set is realistically going to translate in the National Football League. He kind of reminds me of a QB that's going to have a path of a guy like Jacoby Brissett, somebody that can use his legs. You don't want him only to use his legs, but definitely pretty freaking limited. The other part, though, with Jordan Travis is the Raiders got to be at least somewhat interested, right? I mean, they met with him. They only get top 30 visits, and you anticipate that they're going to meet, obviously, with so many quarterbacks out there. But Jordan Travis is a solid player. I don't think that he's got the upside, but to me, if you're looking for a franchise quarterback, a 10-year guy, not a Band-Aid, that's kind of where I think Travis's year goes. Career, Band-Aid. I'm looking for a 10-year starter, and I don't think that's him. We are also doing a subs battle this week. Raiders report against 49ers report. And, I mean, this is the last chance that I'm going to be able to tell all y'all I don't want to lose to the 49ers. So if you could do me a real big solid here, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. That way, every time I drop a video, you get it. And on top of that, I don't like the Niners. I'm not losing to them. So hit that subscribe button. Let's go to QB 7 here on the list. It's J.J. McCarthy. I am starting to believe that McCarthy is going to be the 2nd or 3rd quarterback off the board based on reports that have come from guys like Tom Pelissero, based on his old head coach hyping him up, saying it's the best pro day that I have ever seen. Now, I will say I do not see him going outside of the top 10. So if the Raiders are going to get McCarthy, I think you're going to have to trade up for him. I just don't see him being on the board anymore at 13. And because of that, this is not the quarterback that you would end up trading up for. Again, there was one name that they're going to trade up for and one name only. Also, it's been rumored that Telesco isn't the biggest fan of McCarthy. Those rumors were probably 6 weeks ago. New information has come out, but I always say you can't judge a quarterback on what he does at the combine. You can't judge a quarterback what he does at his pro day. You got to watch the film. So if people are switching up their opinions on QBs this much, that's very alarming to me. Let's go to number 6 here on my board for best chance to be the Raiders quarterback this upcoming season. I'm going to go with South Carolina quarterback Spencer Rattler. Rattler is a QB that I foresee going somewhere in, let's say, round 3. Raiders have picked 77 in that round. The reason why he's ranked probably a little bit lower than some other QBs, but he's ranked higher than McCarthy, Travis, Maye, is just because, one, he's a better quarterback than Jordan Travis. That's not really all that close to me. On top of that, I do think that the Raiders would target him over Travis, hopefully. But why he's over McCarthy, Drake Maye, is not because I like him more. It's simply because the chance of him falling to the Raiders is much greater than the Raiders trading up and getting a guy like Maye or getting a dude like McCarthy. I'll get into my top 5 here in just a moment, but I got to give a shout-out to Game Time. I love Game Time because they take all the headaches that you might have with trying to get tickets to an event, take them right out the window. I mean, when I want to do anything outside of work, honestly, I want it to be simple, easy, and something that I want to continue to do. Prices drop the event when it gets closer, which is something that I really like. Also, the fact that you can get last-minute tickets There's flash deals. There's zone deals. So if anybody's watching this show right now and they're like, well, Mitch, tell me, how do I get it? Well, I'm glad you asked. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. As you can see, Chuggs is putting those links for you guys down in the comments and down in the description of today's video. Obviously, terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem code ChatSports. That is CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Events for all types of events. Sporting events. Maybe it's college basketball, which I was looking at the tickets, and there's a few games tomorrow on Friday. There's also some games on Sunday on top of that. I'm flirting with the idea, and if the tickets get low enough, Chuggs, I think I might pull the trigger on this one. But again, if anybody wants to get started, remember, it's that promo code down there, ChatSports, $20 off. Shout out to Game Time for sponsoring the Raiders Report. Let's get in now to our top 5 quarterbacks that have a shot at starting for the Silver and Black. I'm going to go with Oregon QB Bo Nix. And it's been rumored that Telesco likes Bo Nix and that he's a quarterback that he values. Again, that's probably about 6 weeks ago. And I know that the nation is very split on Nix. Some people think he's very good. I'm more in the camp that he's not the quarterback that I would take in round 1 personally. He's the 6th best QB in my personal opinion. I know when you look at the 45 touchdowns, the 3 interceptions, and the completion percentage and the yards, and everyone's like, Mitch, how is this guy not going to be good? I think what he did was a simple offense at Oregon. He was bad at the Senior Bowl. Based on people that I talked to, they don't think that he's looked very good this offseason. I am worried that some guys are just, and it's okay, a college quarterback. I am worried that he would struggle, and I think even if he was drafted, he's not beating out Aidan, and I don't think he's beating out Gardner Minshew either. Let's go to number 4 here. It's the name that all y'all want to see, Jayden Daniels. And this is the quarterback, if the Raiders trade up, take in the top 3 picks. Trade up for, take LSU quarterback Jayden Daniels. Antonio Pierce has been working with this guy since he's been 13 years old. So, Mitch, if this is the plan A, if this is the guy they want, why is he at number 4? He's at number 4 because if you haven't heard or if you haven't had anybody tell you that's a Raider fan in the last 24 hours, it's not going to be easy to trade up to pick 3. It's not going to be easy to trade up to pick 4. To pick 2, the Raiders will have to trade up for him. And because of the difficulty in that conversation, it means that I would say if I was an odds maker out in Vegas, I would have Jayden Daniels being the Raiders starting quarterback as the 4th best odds. It's the odds that I would put my money on. I'm telling you that because that's the one that I want to happen. It's the one everyone wants to happen. It's the one that Antonio Pierce wants to happen. Davante Adams wants to happen. So, hey, let's make it happen. Let's go to number 3 here on the list. It's Michael Penix Jr., quarterback out of Washington. And this young man has really boosted his stock after a solid pro day. I mean, he had a nice 40 time, nice little vertical jump there. His numbers the past 2 seasons with the Huskies are obviously extremely impressive. It was probably one of the best games I ever watched a college quarterback play. Him going up against Texas, unfortunately, he had probably one of the worst games I've seen him play, going up against Michigan that kind of beat him up. He's a lefty. I think if Penix was a right-handed quarterback, he would probably be in that discussion of where a guy like J.J. McCarthy is to me. So the fact that I do believe that he falls to pick 13 because of the probability of Penix being there at 13 compared to the probability of the Raiders being able to trade up for Jayden Daniels, that probability makes me want to put Michael Penix Jr. there at number 3. Let's go to number 2 here. It's Aidan O'Connell, and O'Connell was the Raiders starter last season, got a few under his belt, and did okay at times, really struggled at times as well. And I've made it clear that I don't view him as a franchise guy. I view him as the definition of a Band-Aid. But he's number 2 on this list because he is the Raiders starting quarterback right now. And if Antonio Pierce calls him the QB1, you got to be able to respect that. And at the end of the day, all you need is a chance. So the fact that he is given a chance in a team that, the offense is going to be totally different, but there's still some chemistry there with some of the receivers like Davante Adams, like Jacoby Myers, Michael Maye, or Trey Tucker that he has known and that he has worked with. However, though, from top to bottom, I really, truly do not believe that anybody wants Aidan O'Connell to be the Raiders starting quarterback next upcoming season. Let's go to number 1 here. It's Gardner Minshew, and I believe Gardner has a better chance to start over Aidan O'Connell this season because, point blank, I think Gardner Minshew is the better quarterback than Aidan. On top of that, Gardner beat Aidan head-to-head last season. On top of that, the Raiders gave him 2 years, $25 million with $15 million guaranteed. Both Aidan and Gardner are going to have themselves a hell of a competition, and realistically, I think that the Raiders are going to end up drafting one of the quarterbacks that I selected. And once the Raiders do end up drafting a quarterback, guess what? I'm going to make this exact same video again with brand new rankings because the odds then, they drastically change. I do this show to just let y'all know what I'm thinking in terms of what are the most likely scenarios here for the Raiders at the quarterback position. I appreciate all the comments I get on social media, at Mitchell Ren 365. Chuggs and I love all the interaction we get on live, but sometimes I do these shows just to be like, hey, if I was an odds maker, this is how I would break it all down. Appreciate each and every one of y'all tuning into the show. I am confident in saying that, yeah, if I was an odds maker right now, Gardner Minshew, Aidan O'Connell would be the top 2 quarterbacks most likely to start for the Silver and Black. In terms of the draft, I'm going to say Michael Penix Jr. and Jayden Daniels are the 2 QBs most likely to be rocking Silver and Black. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in. If you want to take a screenshot of that, post it on social media, tag Jeremy Chuggs, at Jeremy Chuggs on Instagram, at Jeremy_Chuggs, or did I flip it? At Jeremy Chuggs on Twitter, at Jeremy_Chuggs on Instagram, and then me, at Mitchell Ren 365. Who's going to be the Raiders starting quarterback? If you haven't answered that question yet, let me know down below. Boy, oh boy. That one was that was a doozy. That was some of my best work.
That was a dipsy-doo dunkaroo, if I've ever seen it.
This is awesome, baby, with a capital A. I'll tell you that.
Last Sweet 16 matchups, and then we get into our duck race and our helmet raffle. First up, Lori Sandoval, the 9 seed, taking on PG 28-6-9. Nice.
Brutal. All right, so we got these Sweet 16 races. Then we have the raffle for the helmet, and then we have Venmo.
Yeah.
As well. Okay. Sounds good. Brockton region, Justin G. Bang! Oh my goodness.
He said a bang.
Bang. Bangity bang. Instead of bang, bang, bangity bang.
Bang, bang, bang,
Bang, bang, bangity bang. Instead of bang, bang, bangity bang.
Bang, 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 bangity
That means somebody else is getting in. 2 people are getting in.
Who's spamming Justin? Who is spamming Justin? All right, got that set up. Now we're all good.
I'll tell you what. The more, like, I'm at a point right now where they're going down good. Like, they're going down good right now. Yeah, they're going down pretty smooth. I'm not going to lie. Justin, shout out to you, man. Also, I saw a few extra people here enter this duck race, which I want to.
Who's going to spam it the most?
Gabriel, Crash Dog, Luis, you in. $20 Venmo, winner gets $120. All right, who am I putting in?
Is Alfredo already in?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a lot of names on here right now. It's telling me no.
Alfredo Ramirez.
Okay. Alfredo Ramirez is in. And then give me one more.
Aggressive Master Raider. What?
You've never heard that name?
Allie, I don't get what's funny. Oh, I thought you were. My bad.
Jeez.
Dude. Allie today is like, if I was to put Allie in like a 1 second, like how she is today, it would be this.
Can somebody? Oh, dude, I wish you were bigger, giggity. But clip that. What'd you say? Yeah. Bang. Bangity bang. Instead of bang, bang, bangity bang.
Bang, bang.
Bang,
Who's
bang.
saying that they have never seen that before?
I think it was Petey. Which is my favorite show of all time.
Good Lagoon.
All right, here we go. Lori Sandoval up against PG 28-6-9. Winner. That's the lead 8. Lead. 3, 2, 1. Let's get it going. All All right, PG here gets out to a little bit of an early lead. The Lori Sandoval, I feel like the races today have been so hard to predict.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been wrong in the last 4. Though Lori's starting to make some moves right now. I'm worried, though, that it's doing too much too early. But PG now is falling behind. We got 8 seconds to go. Lori's starting to pull away. I think Lori's got it. Winner, Lori Sandoval. That's a big race right there, man. That's an impressive one. Wow. Wow, oh wow. Dude,
Huge.
that's insane. That's
So our last race in the Sweet 16.
uh-oh.
James Guevara.
A 15 seed. James Guevara up against Noah Garcia. Noah Garcia. This is interesting. Also, Scott Eckert, you are in for the duck race, which now puts us at winner would get $130. $20 Venmo for a chance to win $130. All right, so we got, 500 people here? What's up, y'all? I see Ron Raspberry, I Am Punchy, Yoda, Robert, King Shav, Mr. Raspberry.
All right. Last race of the Sweet 16.
Ryan Decker, what do you got for me? Ryan, if you make me laugh, I'll take a shot. We got. All right, 15 against a 6.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1, run it. Oh, that's right. These whales, these dolphins just hump the water. Did you guys know that James Guevara right now, dude, literally by a nose. If it ended right now, who wins?
Oh, I don't
Now
know.
it's Garcia. Garcia has the lead now. Wait a minute. Did Guevara hit it in the hyperdrive? He did. James Guevara. And now he's stunting. Honestly, he's moving faster now. He's moving faster now. Wow. That's a big win for Guevara. Elite 8. So do you have the updated bracket, what it would look like, or is that going to take more time?
Let me see what I can do.
Sounds good. Also, this is going to be our final call for our 50-50 raffle. So as soon as Jeremy figures out the bracket stuff, I'm going to send him all these names. We're going to do that duck race, and then I think the way that we're going to do the helmet is going to be a random wheel. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to do a wheel. Big Luck, you're not wrong. I feel pretty good right now, Big Luck. Timothy, you in.
So
Timothy Jones is in.
let me just go through it really quick.
On a scale of 1 to I can't taste that chicken,
So
where do you
it
guys
was-
think I'm at?
It was David and Amy.
Correct. So David took down Joshua Melton, and then Amy got the win against Jason EB. That's one of my favorite Elite 8 matches we got.
And then the next region, we had Jose Corona and Rob Raver?
No. So Jose Corona won.
Jose Corona and Justin Gilbert.
And Justin Gilbert, yeah, beat Lord Cameron Abbott. Jose Corona got the dub. And then, oh, you went back to Vegas. All right, I see more people are starting to get in this one now. Give me a second here. I see Justin Salazar just got in. I got my guy Rustin Long. You in? Rick Hand. Is that your real name? Rick Hand. Yeah, Mr. Hand. That's close, dude. What's funny is my nickname was Renzi. What would be his nickname then? When I was a kid, like growing up playing baseball, Renzi. Rick Hand. What's his nickname?
I might be messing it up, actually.
What does that mean? Luis Rod in. Steve OK, you in. So now we are at.
That's not right.
I mean, you're close. I mean, no, it's not the right matchups.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, if they just moved all up one, though, it would be fine. It wouldn't be the Elite Eight, but you could still see the graphic. It would be the Elite Eight. It'd be fine. We'd have to do it again.
And Justin Gilbert.
Yeah, so Justin Gilbert, Jose Corona, and then David Zahn and Amy. That would be up here, and then you just have to do it again. So essentially what we're doing is a lot of the times, like the graphics y'all see up on screen, they all have like different, let's call them codes, brackets or whatever, and Jeremy uses them all the time, so he knows how to use them. So like we literally...
Patrick
B and Miggy.
Patrick B won? Yeah.
Right?
No, it was Troy.
No, it was Troy. It was Troy Williams. Yeah, Troy Williams won, and he's going up against Miggy. But we made all these new graphics. I know you guys can't see them. They're on the screen that's next to me, so I can see them. That's why I'm talking to them like this. But we're trying to figure out the packages just because it's a little bit different than what we do. So just bear with us. Bear with us here. We're doing good, though. Zahn, shout out to you. Get those drinks down from 93 Nav, man. What else do I owe? I did the 5 shots of tequila. Chuggs did my fireballs. I did a beer bong for Justin. And I did a beer bong for Navman.
And then it was just people who just won was Lori Sandoval and James Guevara.
James Guevara, Lori Sandoval. Mitch, yeah, I'm not a tequila guy. Definitely not a tequila guy. I might not. I don't know. I don't even think I'm going to have any more tequila tonight. Navman said me twice. I mean, did I not do them? Navman, are you? All right. Jansen says Mitch above.
All right. Did this work?
So you said
Or did I just do
26
it?
fireballs or 13 tequilas.
Did it work or did I just do all that for nothing? Let's see.
Jeremy's figuring it out. So, like I said, I did 5 tequilas. Jeremy did 5 fireball shots. You did it? Yeah, you did. That looks awesome. I'm just on screen. All right, that's fine.
Well, no, that's fine.
That's good. Yeah, I got you. All right, so we got David Zahn up against Amy. That's Las Vegas. Los Angeles region is Jose Corona. What?
So close.
Oh, Justin Gilbert. Gilbert. Troy Williams up against Miggy Camacho. Lori Sandoval up against James Guevara. Honestly, Robert, your math is too much. So just tell me what I owe.
Here we go.
How about that? I like it. Take a screenshot of that, man. Somebody in this 8 is going to win $1,600.
How wild is that?
Dude, that's insane. I mean, come on. That's freaking nuts.
Who you got? Who you got going all the way? Do you have David Zahn, type DZ, Amy? I guess just type Amy. 3-letter word.
Sure.
Jose Corona, JC, Justin Gilbert, JG. Oh, then we're going to get some problems down the road.
Yeah.
Troy Williams, TW, Miggy Camacho,
Start over.
MC, Lori Sandoval,
Start the whole March Madness thing again.
LS, or James Guevara, type none.
Who are you going with? Who are you going to put money on?
Give me Miggy.
Miggy? Okay. Miggy Camacho is Chuggs' pick.
Rustin said whoever wins Amy David is winning it all.
You think? I'll tell you what. Both have been having solid races. Miggy's been doing solid. I mean, obviously, everyone's here for a reason, right?
Graf's here now.
What's up, Graf? What up? We're doing a March Madness bracket for Raiders Report watchers, Graf. Winner gets $1,600. We're at the Elite 8 right now. Pretty legendary.
Common Raider. We
Oh.
went from no way to hell to there's a legit chance. Do whatever it takes to get Jayden Daniels, AP Telesco, make it so, just win, baby, and a very loud and raunchy Raiders.
Graf, I thought it was funny today. I saw like he tweeted, "Love working for myself. Like can crack open a beer." Next tweet is something like Cliff Kingsbury, like bashing Cliff Kingsbury. And then his next like 3 or 4 tweets, I was like, how many has he cracked open? You know what I mean? Or he's just drinking one like Wasted. Wasted drinks those little little Coronas. You know what I'm talking about? The one where you're like,
Well, his old little hands can't fit the big, 40s. So
you drink one of those little Coronas, and you're like,
wait,
I shouldn't be near a school.
does he drink banquets? Like the Coors banquet beers? Is that what you're talking about?
No, like it's like an 8-ounce beer, like that little one.
Graf said he's on my fit with. I don't know if he's talking about
I think a
beer.
fifth.
Or
Oh,
a fifth.
maybe. I mean, 5 beers. I remember my first beer.
Graf, did you wipe your feet? Did you like the video yet? Graf, let me know. Did you wipe them feet?
Honestly, I don't have any tread on my feet from all the feet wiping I've been doing over on Graf's channel.
I imagine Graf goes to an Asian household and they're just like, no, just take your shoes off. He's like, wait, I usually just wipe my feet, and they're like, no,
You can't do
shoes
that
off.
here. You can't do that here.
Luis said they're called Corona Ritas. Sounds like something Caleb Williams would drink.
Oh my goodness. With a straw.
Graf said, 5th beer, I got babies, relax. We know you got babies. We know how you get down, Graf. We know how you get down. Hope everybody has a great Easter. Yep, hope everybody has a great Easter.
All right.
DK, no meat tomorrow. Remember that. No meat.
Only chili.
Only chili.
I mean, at this point, you got to buy into it, right? What'd she give up
Dude,
for Lent?
I saw a video yesterday of there was a girl who was vegan, and she was eating In-N-Out. And I guess she thought she didn't order meat. Like, she just got a veggie, like, just veggie on bun with the, I don't know. She's, like, over halfway through eating this burger. They put meat in it. It's just a cheeseburger.
Yep.
She's halfway through, and she's like, wait, is this meat? Oh, no. I'm like, how do you go halfway through a burger without realizing it's a burger? First bite, I'd be like, that's a burger.
I mean, that's the dumbest thing I've heard all day.
And she spit it out. She was like, I can't eat meat. I was like, how? And she, like, I'm telling you, she was like more than halfway done with this burger. And she was enjoying the hell out of it, too.
I mean,
She was like, this is the best veggie sandwich I've ever had.
caught
Holy
up, Robert.
shit.
I'm caught up. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Dude, she was.
That's like, I remember I watched the movie when I was a kid, and it was the part that I remember, and I'll never forget it. There was a blind man driving a car, and the cops obviously pulled him over. Believe it or not, wasn't the best driver. The cop goes, like, give me your license registration. On his license, says he's blind. He goes, sir, are you blind? And he goes, I forgot. That's what that reminds me of. Like, that's what that reminds me of. I don't know what that movie was called. I couldn't tell you what channel I saw it on. It was a line I was just like, that's hilarious to me.
Live Oak MJ.
Sounds like my wife. That's funny. I probably shouldn't have laughed at that so
Common,
hard.
you are in for our Raiders helmet giveaway.
We're giving away a Raiders helmet today, signed by Jeremy Chuggs and I.
Let's go ahead and do our Venmo
Yep.
race
Just gonna
first.
say that.
Last
Just gonna
chance to
say
get
that.
in. Last chance to get in.
I knew you were gonna do that.
You don't want to regret it. You'll regret it for the rest of your life. Don't be a loser. Get in the raffle. If you don't, you'll say, wow, I wish I got it in that raffle. I'll
Bro.
tell you, for the rest of your life, you'll sit down and say, hey, what if I got in the raffle? I even thought to myself, I should get in the raffle as soon as Jeremy Chuggs said to get in the raffle. It's a great raffle, the best raffle you've ever seen.
I picture you go home and that's how you talk to Sadie.
You're a good girl. the best girl in the world. I came into this house and I said, wow, Sadie's such a good girl.
Bro, you got to get out of this little box here if you're going to talk like that. I see a lot of this, and up here, it doesn't look like that. It looks like you're rubbing your nipples up here. Every time this happens. A lot of nipple rubbing.
I said, wow.
Dude, you got to get out of here. All right, I just sent you all the names. So right now, it's 20. I'm not taking any more names, by the way. All right, try, Van.
She said she wanted to meet.
Bro.
I remember this specifically.
Winner gets 210.
I came in the room and I said, wow.
Will you put those names in?
She really wants to meet.
Dude, you got to get out of here.
She said she was vegan. I said, no way. No way, Jose.
I can't tell you when this show's going to end. Who's getting in? Let's go. 21 people. 21 people. Somebody's going to go home with $210. That sounds pretty effing good to me. Sounds pretty effing good.
All right. You ready to get this show on the road?
Show, road, feet, wiped. My feet are wiped right now. Oh, man. So the other day, randomly, I looked up like how much a boat was. It's unbelievable how much a boat is.
Robert, I do have to say, Robert, your math is wrong because he said 5 shots tequila shots, which is what you did, 5 fireball shots, 150. That leaves 110 owed. But Robert, silly little Robert, Mitch did a beer bong for the 100 that got sent in, and he did an extra fireball shot, which would be the 10. So silly little Robert.
Tricks are for kids.
Tricks are for kids.
Tricks are for kids.
I said, wow, Robert.
Oh, my God.
You didn't math correctly. You must have gone to the school of Biden. You can't count. Couldn't count. Stop the count. Oh!
93! Navman!
Bang!
Damn, dude. Ah, man. Woo!
I stand corrected. 93 Navman. Having us drink more. I said, wow, I must be thirsty. I wonder if Navman will send in a super chat, and guess what? He sent one in. He's the most super chatter of all time. Believe me when I say this.
Bro, you gotta stop. You're gonna go, like, my mom used to always say, like, your face is gonna stick like that. What if that's...
The
like,
real ones know. The real ones know if you spam 93, you'll have a chance at the Raiders helmet. And it's the greatest Raiders helmet of all time.
The biggest problem...
I remember buying this helmet and saying, wow, this is the greatest Raiders helmet I've ever seen.
Bro, and the worst part about you talking like that is you'll never be able to eat sushi because your hands are always here. You'd never be able to eat and talk. You wouldn't be able to work. You literally couldn't use your mouse and talk at the same time. Your arms would get tired. Your biceps would be gigantic.
Let's go with...
Can you do that impersonation without this?
I can't.
That's my question.
King Javier, is he in the raffle?
I guess which one? Helmet raffle?
Yes.
What was the name?
King Javier.
King Javier, I am not seeing.
All right, King Javier, you're in.
You in. King Javier.
Is I Am Punchy in there?
I want to say yes. But my mind's telling me no. Yeah, it's not. I Am Punchy's not in.
Put in I Am Punchy.
What happened? Oh, Jesus.
I said, wow, the Rangers, one of the weakest champions
Honestly, I
of
thought you
all
were about
time.
to show me like some like Raiders
World
like breaking
Series
news.
champs. I remember walking in, I said, wow, the Rangers, a weak World Series champion. I knew it. I called it. We all saw it. We all saw it in the field. Stop
throw
the
these
count.
away and get me some new ones?
That's an ugly jersey. You look like a dog.
Dude. All right. He's gonna go get me a beer bong 93, so I owe you one there. I'm worried if I don't do that beer bong, I'm just gonna wake up tonight and Robert Jansen's just gonna be right here. I thought it was Chuck. It's Jansen. Also, I got to add one more person here. Willie Pfister. That's the name. In. 22 people in. We're doing the race.
Yes.
I'm not accepting any more.
The
Not
answer
accepting any more.
The answer is yes.
No more 20s. No more 20s. No more 20s. If anybody sends in anything else, I'm using it for Chuck's college fund.
Darth Badass. Sound like a Chiefs fan. Need to lose some weight.
Oh, Jesus. David Zon Bang! That's dose. That's dose.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. It's on.
Dan-dan-dan-dan-dan, zon, zon.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Another zon bomb.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
David's on. All right, Chuggs, you know the rules. You know the rules.
Who's spamming Zon the most?
Dude, Zon is a madman.
I told Marshall to go home. Go back to your home. No one wants you here. Rebel said you need to leave. Let's go with Raider E.
Raider E?
Raider E.
All right. Raider E.
All right.
All right, let's do this race.
We got to do this race. We got to get this show on the road because Jack is pacing in there. He's waiting on me.
Oh. All right. 3, 2, 1. Let it ride. All right, here we go. 58 seconds in this one. Winner's going to go home with $220. Good luck to all of our racers. Shout out to all y'all for being patient with Chuggs and I today. We've been having a hell of a night. We've had a hell of a night, man. Scott Eckert's got a little bit of a lead right now. And Trivan, I'll tell you what. I don't know when the last time Trivan won. I
think he won for the first time last month.
Yeah, what? Oh, I actually think you're right now that you say that. No, Trivan won a big pot before. Trivan before, he won because then remember he said his car got attacked by turkeys. Don't you remember that? Trivan, if you're watching, I'm not crazy for that, right?
Robert said we've lost 200 people since I've been doing Trump. You can't count. Stop the count. You don't know what you're saying. Fake news.
Here we go.
I call him Fake News Robert.
Rick Hand! Jamari Murray! Oh, what a race there by Murray. I actually thought it was going to be Rick Hand. And then it was Jamari Murray. That's a big win.
They're saying that I need to add one more person into the raffle. We missed one person.
Okay.
So I'm going to give it to Noah Santana.
Noah Santana. Though I think
I
think Noah's already in. I could be wrong. Okay, he's in. Noah Santana's in.
Noah Santana's in. Sorry about your loss earlier in the Sweet 16, but as a lower seed, getting that far,
it's impressive.
Nothing to hang your head about.
It's impressive.
It's depressive.
Ah, dude.
Once again, our Elite Eight.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Tuesday, check, meat on meat.
You're on a whole nother level right now.
Hey brother, what are you doing out there?
Yeah, we did not sign Ryan Tannehill. It was just a rumor that we talked about, just because somebody said that the Raiders were interested in Ryan Tannehill, and long story short, they're not. So. They're not. All right, so here's what's going to happen. We got one more thing to do today.
One more time.
All right, so all these numbers. Also, I just want to say this. Everybody real quick, spam David Zahn down below. He is the MVP for the month of March. So, Zahn, I'm going to send you a Raiders jersey, March MVP. Shout out to you, man. Obviously, you've been part of the show, part of the journey for a long, long time. I salute you, and from the bottom of my heart, I will always say thank you to you. So everyone give a huge, huge shout out to Mr. David Zahn. The way that I'm going to send you these is going to be based on, like, all right, I'll just do this.
Just send me the whole list. Once I put
know,
it,
but there's numbers next to the list based on bangs. You'll see what I'm talking about. I don't know if that matters.
oh, like I have to put them in that many amount of times.
So we'll do it, just do one entry apiece. Now, I did it originally, like that counts the bangs. So that's how many bangs they did.
Oh, but everybody only has one entry.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine then.
I was just going to get rid of those numbers.
I mean, I don't think the numbers matter as
Okay.
much.
Sounds good. All right, so basically the people that have a chance to win this Raiders helmet, David Zahn, Justin Abgen, 93 Navman, Ryan Campbell, Todd Canning, Bat Bearded Dad, Taino, Common, Lord Cameron Abbott, Elijah Jaron Music, Trivan, Ira Jackson, OC Raider, Feathery Mars, Michael Gomez, John Sheff, Nathan Wolf, Sean Kaptor, Riverside Raider, Raider Sancho, Isaac Hernandez, Darth Fatass, Paige Davis, Joss I, Jay Dervin, Amrabra, Patrick B, Ultra VAB, Stephen Rockwell, Rebel, Sherilyn Collins, Alex Padilla, Mickey Camacho, Martin, Yoda Jenkins, Jose Corona, the 805 Raider, Rustin Long. Actually, you got to take out one of the Rustin Longs. Not Rustin Long, Rick Aguilar. Rick Aguilar's actually already been in, so take him out. Isidro, Josh Melton, JC Does It, Gary Osborne, Try Me, Sean Kennedy,
I do see that.
Celtic Raider, Jorge Canellis, Laugh at It, Shane O'Sham,
So that
Isaac
means
Hernandez,
We're going to put one more person in.
Cass Joey, Real Cowboy, Big Luck, Ron Raspberry, Dre Beto. Then I got Rick. Wait, Yoda's in twice. We got to add two more people. Yoda out. He's already in once. Godat Kush, Javier Navarro, LA Crash Dog, Jamari Murray, Justin G, Alfredo, Aggressive, Common, King, I'm Punchy, Raider E, Noah Santana. So we got to add two more people.
I see it. Yoda is in there twice. All right, two more people. Only if you're not in.
Yep.
Spam me. Only if you're not in. If you're in and you're spamming me, then you're just wasting our time because then we're going to take you.
All right, how about this? I see a few people. I know you already did the wheel. Some people are saying duck race. What do you guys want? Zahn, you were the MVP. Whatever you want to do here, let's let them pick. I am seeing a few people saying duck race. Oh, well, Zahn, whatever you want. You're the MVP. If you want to do the wheel, we'll do the wheel. If you want to do a duck race to the side,
I see.
Who gets the Raiders helmet? You make the shots.
Ed Robbins? Is Ed Robbins in?
Zahn says, I don't care. Who?
All right, wheel it is.
Cool.
Ed Robbins.
Ed Robbins. Add him. I don't see his name.
All right, and then one more.
How about...
Is Luis Rodriguez in?
No.
All right.
Luis Rodriguez in.
And because we've been messing around, I'll put one more person in. Is Jeremy Colin?
No.
Okay.
All right, so winner gets this Raiders helmet, signed by Jeremy and I.
I'll shuffle it a couple times so there's no fugazi. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
Trivan says good luck to everyone. Seriously, good luck to all y'all. I'm hoping that we can do more stuff like this. I had a lot of fun this entire month. I love doing this show. I love being able to hang out with y'all, and I promise the more we grow, the more cool stuff we'll be able to continue to do and give away. So shout out to all y'all. You ready?
I'm ready.
You guys ready? Good luck, everyone. Here we go. Let's do it. Winner gets a signed Raiders helmet, Chuggs and I. I can't see who it is. My eyes. Is that Rustin Long?
Rustin Long!
Congratulations, man.
Shout out to Rustin. I know Rustin's in the chat. I saw him earlier.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah, there he is. Woo!
Rustin, I'm gonna message you real quick. And then if you could reply to that message so I can get your shipping address. Just put, like, obviously first, last name, and I'm going to guess it's Rustin Long. I usually have to ask that if it's, Yoda Jenkins. If that's your real name, cool. It's a dope name. I just don't think that it is. So then I just need your shipping address, and then we'll be able to send that helmet out to y'all. Chuggs and I will sign it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Shout out to all y'all for tuning in to the Raiders Report. Chuggs and I had a lot of fun today. We are not going to be here tomorrow, okay? We're not going to be here tomorrow. We got a 3-day weekend here at Chat Sports. It's Good Friday. And then I am driving with Alex, my dog Chuck. We're going to go up to their lake house, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours normally away from the studio. If any crazy Raiders news happens, I'll probably go live from there, in all honesty, and then Chuggs will come in here and we'll still do our normal show. We'll still make content, but I want all y'all to have an amazing Easter. I want y'all to have an amazing, amazing weekend. I'll probably make a video sometime this weekend, just over the break, just because I usually do during the holidays. But I want to give a major shout-out to all the real ones that tune in today. Huge shout-out to 93 Navman, Zon, Fat Ass, Common, Justin G, Crash Dog. I mean,
shout out to Fat Ass.
Chance Tastic got the party going. Darth Fat Ass. I mean, I had a lot of fun today. I like doing these type of shows, and I want us to, keep doing our thing. So appreciate all of y'all. Rustin, I just got your address. Awesome, bro. Appreciate it. From me, from Jeremy Chuggs. You guys have anything else? Are we good? You got anything? We're good? Have a happy Easter. Love y'all. Shout out to, and again, congrats to David Zong, Long Zon, MVP March. Happy Easter. Peace.